Welcome, everyone, to Streaming from the Multiverse. A bit short notice and last second, all that stuff, but hey, spur of the moment, sometimes they're the best streams. I'm Robert Willing, aka StarCraft. And with me, I have.
I'm Kingdom Key 23. How y'all doing?
Sorial Diamond, what's singing?
You can tell this is off the cuff, right?
Eric?
Hey, this isn't WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania night. What am I doing here?
Also, we have with us Piper. I don't know if she's at her computer right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Unless you can't hear me, and then
No,
we
I
have a
hear you
problem.
now. And, well, today's just going to be a shoot the shit stream. We could talk about Shazam, but since only Ingrid and I have saw it, that kind of goes out the window. So, anyway, and if we were talking about movies before the stream started, so let's just start that up again. So, Eric, you were talking about what movie was it?
We were talking about alternate movie endings, and then I brought up Rambo.
Oh, right.
So, compared to the Will Smith movie, adaptation of I Am Legend.
Right. But it was we can start right there. Alternate movie endings. I've seen plenty of them. Thank you, DVD features, and some of those seem to always have some good alternate endings. Some other ones where you're like, thank God they didn't go that route, like Independence Day. Good Lord, that would have been hokey.
What was the alternate ending for Independence Day?
Oh, you're not going to believe it. Yeah, go ahead. You've seen the movie.
Yeah, it's you remember the farmer guy? I forgot the actor who played him. The guy who actually was abducted by aliens.
Yeah,
the crop pilot and all that stuff. He originally was turned down rejoining the military, and so he decides to instead come in with his plane, fly with a missile attached to it. Already deciding to go on a suicide mission, flying around with these jets, and then he goes up and does the "Hello, boys, I'm back."
Yes. Beautiful. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, but they realized that was just way too hokey. I
was like, excuse me, even for
a movie with Will Smith in it.
Yeah, but let's be honest, though, that and especially the unbelievability of having a crop duster flying around these fighter jets.
Alfred Hitchcock, this is not.
That, and also it made the lead up to his sacrifice not as impactful. The way they do it in the actual movie, where he actually made it in and he did not just know he was going on a suicide mission until the missile got jammed, made it much more impactful. And I think that's probably why that's one of those. The director, Emmerich, Roland Emmerich. I think that's why that's one of his better films. They actually took time to put in more character into it than just going for the set pieces.
Yeah, because if they focused on the set pieces, then who knows, we might have gotten a bunch of those kind of blades. It's like, yeehaw, boys, we're all going in.
Yeah, now, something I realize is, who do you think is a weaker director? Michael Bay or Roland Emmerich?
That's like asking for Satan versus a lower demon. They're not that bad. I'm sorry. They're not that bad. I apologize.
Well, serious question here.
This is a serious question. Okay.
I can't really form an opinion because I haven't seen all of their movies all the way. The only Michael Bay movie I've seen all the way was Transformers. The only Emmerich movie I saw all the way was Godzilla.
Not even Independence Day?
I've only seen clips of it. I do get to the part where Will Smith is lost in the desert and shouting and screaming his head off. But I didn't get to the good parts with the president being a badass and Jeff Goldblum. I think his name is.
This was one of his better films where he wasn't like that.
Hey, Robert and I. Hey, you, me, and Alex are still convinced his best role was as an Indiana Jones stand-in on Sesame Street.
That was a serious thing.
Yeah, it was. But
and he was Bob's brother. He was Bob's brother.
Right. Hey, Piper, do you have an opinion?
What were we talking about?
Roland Emmerich or Michael Bay? Who's the worst director?
I'm just really tired of Michael Bay right now. Still.
Okay, that's a good explanation. I mean, yeah, Emmerich hasn't done that many films lately. The last one I think was Independence Day 2.
Yeah, he's got gonna do more stuff to annoy me. Michael Bay is known for being just fucking Michael Bay. Everybody's like, "Oh, fucking Michael Bay this movie up." Like
the punchline of the directing industry, the video industry.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, sometimes I wonder how much of the way he directs is intentional.
There's Weaponized Nerd Rage brought this up. He wonders if he's doing this intentionally to show just how morally bankrupt Hollywood can be. Like you do this, everybody will flock to your damn movie, even though it's cinematic garbage.
Which worked for a while.
It's a great theory, but at the same time, we all know Hollywood's not deep enough to think of that.
But when you look at some of his other movies, you can either wonder, did he actually try to be a good director and decide, screw it, I'll go for schlock? Or was it a case where maybe there is a bit of a point there? And not only that, you guys remember this, he doesn't always he doesn't write any of his movies.
That's right. That's true. It often seems the blame goes to the director rather than the screenplay writers.
I mean, it's all about how the director translate it, yes, but at the same time,
translating it, and a lot of times the directors still like to go over the writers' heads and do their own thing.
I was gonna say they still have to look at the script in the end, and they're like, "Oh, this is gonna be fine. Transformer balls, yeah."
Again, in the defense of 2, you got to remember they were rapidly trying to beat the writer's strike there. No excuse, but who knows what we could have gotten if it wasn't for the strike.
The funny thing
about Transformer balls, I don't want to know what we would have gotten.
The funny thing about Bay, though, is 2 things. Number one, he does have a sense of humor about himself, like those commercials where he blows everything up in his apartment.
Oh, yeah.
And number 2, if you look back on the first movie, he got notoriety for it, The Rock, not to be confused with the wrestler. He was everything you see about that movie feels like a deconstruction of his later movies, even though it was one of his first movies.
Well, that's what I was trying to say is perhaps he was trying to do it that way, and he decided, you know what, I'll just go straight for those cliches instead.
Man, I'll give him credit. He loves the military.
True. You gotta give him that.
It's old, like it's done and done, and it's always him doing it. He's like, just like M. Night Shyamalan. It's old. It's done. It's stopped.
Yeah, it's like I see what you're saying. It's like we get the joke already.
Yeah, we get it. Now do something else.
At least Shyamalan was able to crawl back at least to some degree, not to where he once was, but at least he's not a joke.
Actually, Emmerich is.
He's still a joke to me.
He's sorry. Emmerich's got a movie in post-production that's going to come out this year. I just looked it up. It's called Midway. Midway. Thank God. The film will star Woody Harrelson, Luke Evans, Mandy Moore, Patrick Wilson, Ed Charted, Dennis Quaid, yada, yada, yada. And is scheduled for release this November. So if you guys have some leftover money after Thanksgiving and want to go to the movies, I'm saying this in general.
Righto. So, hey, on a different note, for a different topic instead of alternate movie endings, anyone have an opinion? I know Ingrid does. I'm pretty sure Alex and Eric, you do. I'm not sure about you, Piper, but anyone got an opinion on this easy mode for game journalists?
Oh no, I was wondering when that was going to come up. He's going to say it. He's going to say it.
I was anticipating it too, not going to lie.
Yep. So, okay.
So I guess maybe set a little premise for those who don't know, because I sort of know bits and pieces about it. But what was it? It was a certain game that sort of started this off,
Sekiro.
Right? Yeah, that was
Sekiro's Shadows Die Twice.
Yeah, and that's another from Software Games by the same guy who did Bloodborne and Dark Souls.
Dark Souls.
All the famous. All the games are famous for being too hard for game journalists.
Where any game that's super hard or even relatively hard, they say it's a Dark Souls of whatever.
Well, I was about to say, which made Dark Souls the inevitable. Oh, it's like Dark Souls. Blah blah blah.
Cuphead. It was the Dark Souls of whatever you can describe it.
Is Dark Souls really that hard? I've never played it.
There's a reason why the phrase "get good" came about.
Yeah.
It's like hard in a good way.
Yeah, it's a hard way.
Yes, it's hard in a way where it's like, you kind of just where it's something that it's.
Yeah, basically, it's a hardness where I think Appa Ben, a YouTuber, put it best. It's the type of game that the only way for it to beat you is for you to quit.
Yeah.
Indeed. That's why the ending screen says you died instead of game over. It's like, whoop, that didn't work. Let's try something else.
Exactly. Although I think, I don't remember who said it, but I've heard this quote before. One game journalist said, the one thing I hate most about my job is playing the games.
Then why the fuck do you have that job, you Einstein?
My guess is a lot of these people wanted to get into doing their politics and all that stuff, but a regular, real nerd journalism won't take them. So they think, oh, I'll just claim I'm a gamer, get into these game journalists, push my politics, and maybe I'll get hired.
That's not how you get hired by the Wall Street Journal. They're watching it.
Those games are gonna chew you up and spit you out because you're gonna get what you want. You're gonna see what it's really like.
Yeah, I miss the old days of game publications.
I used to subscribe to Game Informer back when GameStop actually meant something.
I used to be subscribed to Game Fan and Game Pro.
Right.
I don't even really follow any game magazines at all.
I'm
What
still
magazines these
subscribed
days?
to Game Informer, but it's
Mega what
mostly
now?
I hand it off to my kid now.
Okay. A magazine, Alex, is a.
Yeah, no. I mean, this whole notion, like, look, some games have an easy mode. That much is obvious. And some games are made to have this easy mode. I mean, there's a reason why, yes, people got mad about Nintendo doing those. Oh, they make it almost impossible to lose. But at the same time, it's like, these are targeted towards kids. They want the kids to still stay invested in it. A kid is not going to mind the game going on autopilot as an option.
Thing about that is, though, I lose so many. You're given so many lives in Super Mario Galaxy, chances for one-ups, and I keep but no matter, I can never get a game over because I have 24. But I keep but some of the levels are hard enough. I keep losing it and losing it and losing it, but I never get a game over because I can just I know what the mushroom is, and I got 24 other Marios to spare.
Exactly. But
it's an endless loop.
But that's the point, though. They know their target audience, and it's not.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, like Breath of the Wild. That's a completely different audience right there.
Oh yeah, I know. Seriously,
Game journalists don't have to be your audience. Game journalists are over. They've been over for a while.
Unfortunately, some of these studios still think the game journalists do represent their audiences.
7 out of 10. Too much water. Am I right?
Although I think there needs to be a distinction between cheating at a game and cheesing a game, because cheating, I see it as you hack in the game and do stuff that wasn't necessarily intended by the mechanics of the game, whereas cheesing is something that's allowed within the game's mechanics that is stupidly effective. And I'd say that cheese is kind of up to you, whereas cheating is more, that's out of the design entirely. At least for the most part.
Yeah, look,
I confess that sometimes after I have given a challenge a lot of a crack, and I eventually hit the I'm not having fun with this anymore threshold, I'll be more willing to use cheese, but I will be trying a long time before I actually get to that point.
All right, whereas me, I openly acknowledge I'll play through some of the games, but I'm more of a story mode guy. I might just use a cheat trainer, but I will use only the certain ones. I will not do I almost never, if it has a one-hit kill mode, I never use those ones. I'm like, okay, that's too easy. Come on. But I will openly admit I do that just so I can get the story. But if I'm a game journalist, I will never proclamize, oh, I cheated on the final boss.
Rob, you're doing
Oh, yes, I saw that article when I woke up on my Twitter feed, and part of me was laughing.
That was real.
And the worst part is this guy also did an article talking about tips on how to get through the game.
Yeah, then there was 17 tips for the game. And I'm like, should take tips from somebody.
Hey, kids, you want to check out these quote-unquote legitimate ways to get through the game?
Hello, hello, this is the Game Genie hotline. Don't go to the Nintendo hotline for tips and tricks. We give you ways to live forever and go skip any level.
Back now, to be fair, I do miss the days where they used to have built-in cheats and that you could figure them out.
Those were fucking fun. I had so many hours in Grand Theft Auto 3 figuring out the cheat codes.
I know.
And I can definitely say that I had a lot of fun as a kid doing the similar. Like, one of the games I used to play when I was a kid was Fate, which is basically the Diablo formula, but just kind of a bit more like kid friendly. And I had a lot of fun figuring out the cheats in that game. For instance,
I did like figuring out cheat codes and stuff. My big policy though was play the game right the first time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, exactly.
And
Just,
then
go
second
through.
playthrough.
go through and play with, mess with cheats and see what you
I
can
did not do
do.
that.
Oh, come
I-
on, DK mode. Who doesn't remember DK mode?
Oh my god, yeah,
Or
especially
big
all
head
the,
mode.
especially from Rare when they put out all those cool cheats. It's fun to go back and experiment and see what sort of crazy stuff you could do. But
Yeah.
I don't know why it's become such a dying art now.
Oh, I remember Saints Row. They eventually made a DLC to get the cheats.
I do
But
have a
it's like multiplayer. I can understand that, like if you're going online and stuff. But if it's a single player experience, it's like why not have a little fun and go outside the boundaries a little bit.
Well, I think main reason
sometimes
why
you just want to cool off after work with a bit of fun where you don't have to think too hard. Oh, sorry.
I
You're
do
saying,
have
Piper?
Oh yeah, I think one of the main reasons though that cheat codes and neat stuff like that is going away is because of the big push to make all games online.
Yeah. That
is true.
Even single player games are online games, and you can still screw with other people's games just because you're online and on a server. I hate that. I hate it so much.
That's actually the thing. The game developers don't have to come up with them because like a lot of kids and players are smart enough. They can figure out how to mess around with their systems and do cheats themselves.
Yeah, now they're doing their own stuff.
It drives my nephew crazy in Fortnite.
Hell yeah! Oh yeah!
I'm sure there are a lot of hackers out there. He
See, and that's the problem with online always games is you are screwing up everybody else's fun by having your own cheat fun.
I do have a confession to make about what I just said about Grand Theft Auto 3. I did use cheats to win originally. I was 15. I was new to big expanded 3D kind of games by the PlayStation 2. So I just play by Vice City and San Andreas. I did beat the game legit.
Yeah,
with the help of a guide to get 100%, but I beat it legit.
Yeah, well, to be fair, let's look at it this way. It's like with the angry video game nerds. I love the times where he's like, oh, fuck this shit, let's just do some cheats now. And because there are times where there's some games that are like it, and you're like, please have them there be cheats. Fuck, there's no cheats for this game.
Yeah, but it's like you said earlier though, it's like after a certain point you get tired by it, and it's like, why do I even want to make this effort anymore? And you just want to see the rest of the game. I mean, there's sometimes you can be like, I don't even want to bother, but then other times where it's kind of like you're in this mindset where it's like, I just want to know what happens at the end, so screw it.
And then of course, and then again, like the nerd, it'd be like, I bet you there's gonna be some shitty ending. We see the shitty ending. You did not disappoint.
It reminds me of the Milan Secret Castle where the article in Nintendo Power even says, just getting the game started?
Oh, geez, that is the worst way to phrase it. You do not phrase it like that.
Oh, that made me laugh so hard.
Oh, getting started?
Nintendo Power, you know I love you, but this isn't the way to treat the kids reading it who want to beat the fucking game.
Now, I do always love, but my favorite type of cheat codes were the ones where you actually had to do something. Like, not push on the codes, but actually, like, had to bend down, or in Toy Story, you jumped into the toy chest and bent down to activate it. Some really out-of-the-box thinking type of cheats.
Oh,
yeah, the ones that you either have to, you either look up or you do on accident. And when you do them on accident, it's funny because then you're like, what the fuck?
I know, you're like, did the game glitch on me?
I know, you can't tell.
Star spinning around like crazy.
You're like, what did I do? How did I ruin the game? I just wanted to go here.
What did I do to give all the wrestlers and sports players big heads?
Although, my other favorite type of cheats, the ones that unlock the real mode, like the blood codes and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy, yeah.
Mortal Kombat, RoboCop versus Terminator.
On Sega, yeah.
Yeah, where you actually got to, they gave you female people you can shoot, and then they explode into blood.
I fucking love Sega.
Oh, speaking of Sega, I still always sticker at the Jurassic Park game. Sega.
Oh yeah.
Did the dinosaurs say Sega? Sega.
Now, again, thank you, nerd. Again,
it's amazing motion capture though for the time that game.
Oh yeah, but again, I just miss those old school cheats. I just miss those so much.
I would say
I
I cheated, put in the cheat codes in the Sims after a while. I don't know if there really is an end game in the Sims.
There isn't.
No, I don't think so.
Having to go to work is only fun for so long. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, look, everybody, my sim is kissing the neighbor. Ha. You know, it's fun for a little bit, but then when you're filthy rich and they have like a bunch of ridiculous crap, it's way more fun.
I guess technically the game ends when you die, but I don't know.
I will say this, though.
Twitter got started.
Right. I would say though, the other weird thing I find is how nowadays now not only do you have cheat trainers, but nowadays with those games that are allowed to be mods, you actually have cheat mods.
Nice.
You know, invincibility mods, but like, oh, it's not cheating. I'm modding it.
Sure.
Yeah. See, mods
are
fun when they're just mods, like changing the sounds or changing what everything looks like.
Or total conversions.
Turning it into other games. Mods are fun when they're still playable for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Not so fun when you're just using it to cheat, though.
I love the DBZ mods where they actually try to add in more characters that haven't been officially added.
Friggin' way back in the day, man, Doom mods were hilarious.
They're still going on strongly, believe it or not.
Yeah,
I know. I bet. Like,
more so because you should see some of the crazy things people come up with. Like the environments, like they get freaking huge. But like, there are definitely some really funny ones out
Barney
there.
Doom.
I know. I played. I had a mod where some things turned into Homer Simpson.
Oh, the Simpson mod.
Yeah, some were Barney and some were Pac-Man. Like I had a whole bunch going where everything was just different. But I love Doom mods. I just only played them back in the day.
Someone in the chat mentioned the Ghostbusters mod. Yeah. That one never got finished.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, never got finished. Yeah, but again, there's so many great mods that could do all that stuff, because especially when you have the source ports like GZ Doom and all that.
Yeah, I think Doom and Super Mario World are probably the most modded games.
Yeah,
fun.
Once you discovered how many other worlds there are in Super Mario World, you're like, oh, I could have some fun with this stuff.
And then you have like someone like the Mario hacks and Sonic hacks. Oh,
here's a question: did any of y'all beat Super Mario normal way, like the completely normal way, without whistles and stuff?
The original Super Mario Brothers? No.
Oh yeah, I have.
It's taken me. I've never gone back to the game. The sequels are just too much fun.
Why?
Well, I tell you, because
no, not you. I was asking Piper. Why? Why do you ask?
I was just curious because there are like so many levels in all of them. Yeah. Mario 3 was a little bit easier to navigate and get through.
You mean straight without spot. Oh, you mean straight through without any warp whistles and all? Not warp pipes.
Yeah, no, I can understand when you go to Super Mario World and the world's like more open. You have these different pathways. You're like, wait, where the heck am I going? I was going towards the cave, but now I'm at Bowser's castle. I was like, what?
Those had warp whistles too, and then but I mean the original had the warp tubes that would skip levels for you.
Oh yeah, the warp pipes. That was.
I was wondering if anybody played every single level.
Oh, I did.
I always once in a while I pop it in, and I just kind of like to go through all the levels because the warp zone it just skips everything, and I just like to go through everything.
If I did it today, I definitely would do it the legit way.
I remember when I did first find the warp tubes, I felt like a freaking genius. I was telling my friend, like, dude, check this out. If you do this and go up here, because I had gotten up there on accident and just decided, hey, look at that, I broke the game and just started running.
I did.
I was trying to show a friend, like, look what I can do, and they're like, oh, well, duh. That's
come on, you didn't know that's common knowledge.
I did beat Sonic, the original Sonic the Hedgehog legit. I used the code where you can skip. You get the option screen and can skip any level. But eventually, I'm like, I'll just get through all the levels. The heck with it.
Yeah.
Because Labyrinth. Because Labyrinth Zone, because it was a water.
Oh, everyone hates that one.
Everybody hates it. Nobody likes water levels. Big shock. But But basically, I decided, you know what? I'm good enough at being robotic. I'm going to try the normal way. Sonic 2, though, when I first got to the end as a kid, yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Robotnik, spiked hands on it. The boss beats me. No, now I got to start all over.
And no rings, too.
I was back as a kid. I
got to say this. Which is worse, underwater levels or sewer levels?
Definitely underwater.
I still think it's underwater levels.
Because as far as sewer levels, I mean,
they're competitive.
I mean,
That's
at least
true. Those tend to have some elements of water levels, and then the whole maze kind of thing going on.
I'm honestly gonna say.
Either way, if you're directionally challenged, good luck.
Yeah.
I know you're screwed either way.
You're never that note to self.
So many times playing games, going, "Have I passed this grate before?" It looks like all the other grates, but I'm not sure.
Seth brought up Comic Zone. That's a great game.
I have it on the virtual console. I got that in Streets of Rage. Would not put those down.
Oh, Streets of Rage, awesome! I cannot wait for 4. I cannot wait for 4.
I freaking love beat 'em ups. I missed out on the beat 'em up craze, but that craze originally. But thanks to virtual consoles and retro gaming, I fucking love beat 'em ups.
That was one of the biggest surprise. All of a sudden, I just gone like, wait, seriously? This isn't a joke. They're actually making a Streets of Rage 4.
Wow. Oh, hey Piper, a quick question because I know some of these guys have seen it. You've heard of the YouTube channel Dorkly, right?
Yes, yeah.
Did you ever see their video of Gone Home called Gun Home? Where they made it like a shoot 'em up and everything.
Nice. I can't remember if I have. I've seen a lot of their stuff because their stuff is fun.
Yeah, I showed Ingrid it. She laughed her butt off, right, Ingrid?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, basically it took the notion of, oh, remember how everyone complained when that game came out, saying, what's going on? Hey, wait, there's none of it's real. All of it, not none of it's real, but it's all real. Like, there's no real ghost. We got to exercise. None of that. It's just, that was when the earliest walking simulators, it got big, and people were like, what the hell is this?
What if I told you nothing was real, or is it? Your mind makes it real.
Yeah,
I have to say it because we'll talk about this later. But 20 years of the Matrix.
Oh, yeah, later. But yeah,
I was gonna say it's like, but nowadays with Steam, it's like, hey, come on in.
Right, but yes, it's like, but with that Dorkly made a joke about it. Where basically your sister's been kidnapped by terrorists as you're coming in, shooting it up, all these Nazis and everything, and it's just like, what the fuck? But at the end, the killer part is, they show these quotes, one of it saying, now it feels like a game. but now the funny thing, is, that's how it was when it came out. Nowadays, with these game journalists, they want the opposite. They want these real games to be walking sims.
Yeah,
they can't handle that hard difficulty.
Wrong, basically.
The opposing streams are wrong.
Walking streams with easy mode.
Yeah, I was gonna say we can't have any of those hard games. We just want all the walk. Like I said, Steam is very inviting of them. Come on in.
I know. Sorry. Sorry, Eric. Sorry.
Yeah, just one more joke. On a new episode of Game Grumps, take walking sims. Will Ego Raptor make it? Details later.
But the thing is though that you have these, the funny thing is if they From Software did give them an easy mode, you still know, given how those games work, it would still be almost impossible for these games.
Easy mode would be too hard for them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's actually some games back in 16-bit era, particularly running guns. Even the easy modes are hard as fuck. Contra 3, the Super Star Wars games. I can never beat them.
I know, exactly.
I mean, there's a bit of a meanie kind of easy mode mockery within the Toho fandom due to a bit of due to a certain video that went viral, but even Toho on easy mode is no joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, those games, I've seen them. They're just like, woof, you have to really be focused. Like, you don't want any noise in any direction. You want to focus to get through those. Toho. Was it Toho? I always forget how to pronounce it.
Toho.
Okay.
Toho said no. I thought they meant yes.
I know, but
you see how many articles are. This game is the Dark Souls of. You know that easy mode's going to be too hard for them, no matter how easy it is. If every game is Dark Souls to them.
And that's why I said they want these games to be walking sims, where they just want to walk through the. I mean, right down to this. I don't know if any of you heard this game, Fury, Furi. It's like a hack and slash game. they put in a mode that basically makes it be for people who want to enjoy the scenery.
Oh my god.
That's what they called it.
To say that we shouldn't make walking sims.
There is an audience. It's like a
yes, there is an audience. I was talking about this in the video that with UI UX design, you're making games with an audience in mind.
Yeah, I feel like those games can work
under certain situations. You design for an audience. You design for people who have like specific interests. I want specific experiences out of a game, and you only have so much time and budget to be able to develop for something. So you've got to hit the mark where it really counts, and so you have to consider it not only from a design but also from a production standpoint. It might just not be worth the effort from a production standpoint to put that kind of thing in.
Yeah, and I was gonna say too. I think like they can work, especially if you're going for something like immersive, especially in like VR games, like where you're just kind of like, wow, I'm really there, or something like that. I mean, I could see that in certain cases.
Well, that's why it was Fury. It's called Invincible Mode, is what they called it. But they specifically said for those who just want to look. Here's what it is. Fury's been called difficult, but it's also been praised for its visual universe, meaningful story, or high-energy soundtrack. Some players told us that the game was too difficult to master for them, and that they regretted to miss out on the story and the universe. That's why we designed the Invincible Mode. The Invincible Mode is a set of commands that can be used to become invincible, skip a fight, skip or lock a certain phase in a fight, or weaken a boss. It enables anyone to enjoy the audio-visual and narrative experience that is Fury. But the Invisible Mode also proves handy for the most hardcore players who want to practice their fight, in particular speedrunners looking to improve their record.
Question: why don't they just fucking go to YouTube?
Right?
Thank YouTube, unless the copyright is so strict that even the most dead hardcore YouTubers can't figure a way around the copyright.
Yeah, but that's just sad, isn't it? Just why that all went. Doesn't that sound sad?
And honestly, getting in the touch with the community around a certain game can almost like add to the game in and of itself, like connecting with other players who have played, because, well, it's sort of something you don't really think a lot about, but, you know, if you wanted to get help with something and necessarily want to, like, you know, be spoiled for the final plot twist, it's, like, kind of better to know somebody who's also had experience with that and be able to ask them so that they can filter it through and not have that stuff kind of just jump out at you while you're looking for a guide to get past this one area you've been stuck on for 3 hours.
Yeah, that's like, I guess it's almost kind of like with the internet around now. It's like we almost kind of lost it a bit where like you're a kid and then you get together with your friends and then you're just like, oh, hey, how'd you beat this level or something? It's almost like a disconnect.
My nephew still does that, but he does it through
the internet makes it a lot easier to connect with people.
Yeah. Sorry.
I said my nephew still does that, but they all do it through headphones. So
yeah, of course.
Down to the speakers. He has a really good headset, though.
Right. That's one thing I would give. There's this one game that I played. It's called. Let me find it back again. I have my Steam account loaded up. It's wait.
Yeah. Well, while Rob's doing that, I'm saying I know it's a lot easier now with the internet, but I don't know. There's some almost like this disconnect too. At the same time, it's almost hard to explain why.
I know it's
like maybe because you don't get 100% like the answer you want right away, and people are just kind of like leery. It's like when you're with public and you're talking with people, you kind of like get a better understanding.
Or the fan base is subdivided by ones who like one aspect of the game enough, the others who don't. I mean, take Kingdom. I mean, you and I love Kingdom Hearts, but there's some people who've never played the games and just go, oh, for the fan fiction because it's full of pretty boys.
Yep, I'm familiar with that side of things.
Right, yeah. Okay, I found it.
More than I ever want to be, trust me.
I found it.
Alex and I have been aware of it since 2005 at the least.
Yeah, I found it. It's called One Screen Platformer. It's literally a huge pixelated game, a huge one screen as you're jumping around. You could die a whole bunch of times, but I will give the...
Hello?
Hello?
He's gone!
Uh-oh. We lost him!
Sorry. Stupid headphones.
No.
As I was saying, the creator, when a Q&A happened, basically was saying, when asked, is there achievements for getting through a game without dying? Hell no!
Wow.
There's no way.
Somebody will manage to do it anyway. The internet can do some crazy things.
Oh, and that's fine, but he
find a
wanted to
way.
make sure that he didn't want to put a masochist achievement in the game.
Seth Engelhardt in the comments said, Invincible mode sounds like an April Fool's thing. Well,
It does.
It really does.
Well, April Fool's has passed. Rooster Teeth celebrates 16 years. Holy shit! And speaking of which, on Red vs. Blue, finally a decent PC version. The Master Chief Collection of Halo comes.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it myself.
And they are getting ready for mod support.
Oh, that's really good. Oh, okay.
Especially, hey, I would love, especially when you have that Halo SP 3.0 or SPV 3.0. You know, that was a mod. That was a great mod, one of the best overhauls.
Sweet.
Yeah, because basically it's called single player version 3.0.
Yeah, because I could definitely see them doing some really interesting things with the Halo formula. Of course, being the Doom fan I am, I would just love to see them recreate the first level of Doom.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I was like, okay, I'm good.
All right, Piper, gotta ask, are you looking forward to Doom Eternal?
I have mixed feelings, but I have high hopes.
Oh, why is that?
Because the last Doom was not so great. So I still
Ooh, that's them fighting words for Alex here.
I loved it personally. But I could definitely see why people would be turned off by it as well, though. I'm not like, I was like, no, this game is a masterpiece. I'm like, I get it.
Mixed feelings, but high expectations. That's how I felt when I first read the Doom comic. That can't be good. Rip it there.
Well, in that case, it exceeded your expectations.
I don't like
hilarious
getting too hyped for some things, especially if they're in the genre or whatever, or a franchise that I already am in love with, because that lets the thing get ruined for me easier.
True.
Because I get really hyped and it's gonna be this is gonna be great. So if it's not, I'm let down that much more instead of just, oh, cool. I hope this is good. It's all right.
I heard someone put it best for comparing Duke Nukem Forever with Doom.
You look great. You've gone and hurt her feelings. Are you happy?
No. The comparison is this. They say where Duke Nukem Forever failed, especially with the Dr. Proton, the Doctor Who Cloned Me DLC, was that there was no build-up, no character interaction, no nothing. He just shows up, you take him down and move on. That's how it was for the game. And nowadays, people at least want some banter or something, like the character to bounce off someone. I mean, Duke, it was fine him doing those one-liners back in the old days. Nowadays, people want to at least see him interact with someone, not just be all like, hey, look how awesome I am.
Yeah, that was definitely
to capture original Duke Nukem, which was fine. It was the entire rest of the game that was the problem.
That's why, I'll be honest, I know people hate it because it was basically, 2K game, and Gearbox shoved it into it, Bulletstorm, but I did not mind Duke mode in Bulletstorm, where you could play as Duke alongside all the other, because Bulletstorm was the more faithful Duke Nukem game.
Yeah. Oh, Dominic is bringing it up. Will there be a later discussion on Mortal Kombat 11 in the stream?
We can do that. We can talk about that.
Maybe not. But you bring up an interesting point, and it's one thing I've learned in the post-internet age. That hype leads to disappointment, which is why I'm keeping my expectations low for everything now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. It's something I learned in Star Wars circles after Phantom Menace came out.
I don't blame you.
From that point forward, set your expectations low for everything. This is why the MCU was so exciting for me at first. I'm like, it's hyped up, but it's probably not going to be that well. Holy crap!
Right now, okay.
Yeah.
This is the Marvel universe we all wanted to see.
Hey, Dominic, you asked about the Mortal Kombat 11.
You sound like
that sums it up pretty much, doesn't it?
Yeah, seriously. Oh, we're trying to make them look realistic. Have you seen MMA fighter and female fighters? That's more realistic than what you're doing. You're just covering them up.
No. Better thing is, have you even played Mortal Kombat? I mean,
no.
Have you seen the original trilogy, folks, and the way the women looked?
I know. Just like, when did these people get hired? Did they get hired partway through a Ten's production, and then they got put in charge?
Somebody ripped their hearts out. Johnny Cage, attack!
No,
I mean, I will admit I guess that's just kind of the original appeal of those original games. Was just like how I mean, they're great games, but they kind of had this sleaze factor to them that made people like, oh, we got to see this. It's like naughty and stuff.
Well, the problem was, the fatalities got more and more more elaborate as the games went on.
but look, it's not about the violence. It's just about.
I know, it's about once again about this is what I hate about America. Why are we so crazy about sex, but we allow kids to be exposed to violence and nightmare inducing scariness? It's like when I was a kid, sometimes it was the opposite. We'd see a lot of scantily clad women on Saturday mornings, but the soccer mom said absolutely no violence, and thus we got Super Friends and a million Scooby-Doo clones. Sometimes a good riddance.
That is weird. That is weird, isn't it?
I know, it's like we shifted up. They actually explain it, getting back to movies for a second. Albert R. Broccoli actually explained this with the different censor boards between England and the US when he was producing James Bond. Because over in England, sex is somewhat okay. I mean, they kind of consider it artsy because of museums and shit and their culture. But violence is a big no-no, where it was kind of the opposite in the US by the 60s, I guess. So the trick was, especially during the Sean Connery and Roger Moore eras, figuring out how to create that proper balance, because there were a lot of kids who liked Bond too, a lot of teenagers, there's as well. So again, it was part of figuring out, okay, how do we strike that right balance and make sure people get what they expect out of a James Bond movie,
right?
Movie. So it was always so that was interesting. I love learning behind the scenes stuff like this. It's always interesting,
right?
But I see what you mean. It's like we go one way and then we go to the other, and there's no balance. Just like with everything, there's no balance. It's just like you have one extreme side and you have the other.
I thought the pendulum swings so far back that you got to swing it all the way other back just to break even, and it never finds the middle.
Again, the biggest thing is, and Mortal Kombat just says one of the newest people guilty of it is, why do these people fucking think that they're appealing to a huge invisible demographic?
That doesn't exist.
Well, it exists, but it's so tiny. It's not going to make it for all the people they're chewing away.
I promise you, there's no group that was like, man, I would totally love Mortal Kombat if it weren't for the skin on the chick characters. And there's nobody.
There are some. I've met people that different things, but they are kind of petty like that. They'd be like, I love watching this. It sounds funny, but the animation fucking sucks.
I know, but at the same time, though, it's like these people are like, were you ever going to even play the game? Oh, no, it's too violent.
No, those people can go
they're not going to buy the game just because
No, those people were never part of the audience to begin with. They could go to hell.
Yeah, but unfortunately, they're catering to them because unfortunately, they've hired people who believe that stuff.
They get paid. They fake this. They all should be fired. I had to sound quote clerks. Yeah. You all should be fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're alienating their actual audience to try to appeal to an audience that's not going to be interested regardless.
The thing is, I was perfectly in for everything building up until I don't remember which character reveal it was, but when you have one of the guys, it was Jade's reveal, and he said, I never cared for Jade at all, but now I'm starting to start to like her. It's like, yeah, because you got your grubby hand on her and changed her.
Womp.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just like, because when he said it, I'm like, wait, you're one of the heads of the lore, and you didn't care for Jade? Why are you
created this backstory for her as well as all these other characters.
And that's the worst part is they're ignoring so much of their backstories. It's like those people who did those reverse photoshopping of like, let's make Spider-Man fat, let's make Black Panther fat. It's like,
no, brother.
It doesn't work like that. You can't just make him fat and still expect Spider-Man to be able to swing around the city.
This isn't John Paul, for God's sake.
That's different.
Exactly. That's half parody, I think.
I know, but it's like, there's no way Spider-Man could swing around a city and be all athletic and be that fat. I know it's acrobatic, but that's...
Oh, God, you just reminded me of the MTV Movie Awards where Jack Black was dressed as Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah, and you have Sarah Michelle Gellar as Wonder Woman.
and his CGI gut was sticking out as he swung and then flapping around. But yeah, Sarah Michelle Gellar is Wonder Woman.
Oh, Mary Jane and Wonder Woman.
They fly off New York in the invisible jet.
Nice.
I miss those MTV Award parodies. I miss those.
William Shatner in Seven with T.J. Hooker and Captain Kirk fighting him in a boxing and Mr. Tambourine Man.
Or getting back to with you with Matrix, you had Will Ferrell and who are the other two guys in that spoof?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm not quite sure. What year was it?
It was when Matrix Reloaded came out, and they were making fun of
in 2003 awards.
Yeah. Because I remember that. Because you had Will Ferrell as the architect, and Keanu Reeves. They did not change Neo at all. So they just played up on that. And he basically plays the architect having a hissy fit.
Yeah, that's right. I've seen that.
Here we go. Okay, according to Wikipedia, the show included a parody of The Matrix Reloaded, intercutting actual footage with no material from the hosts, with appearances by Wanda Sykes as the Oracle and Will Ferrell as the architect.
Who were the hosts?
The host for the 2003 awards was, let's see, they were performers, presenters. Who the hell were the hosts? I think that was the year that Lord of the Rings walked away with all the awards. Remember when
Gollum showed up to get his award and to take it away from the actor
Andy Serkis.
Andy Serkis. And he told them all like fuck off, fuck you. Gollum is telling everyone to fuck off.
I did not see that. I gotta see that one now.
Oh yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Oh, it is.
I remember the Oscars that year. That was, I think, one of the first years they did Best Animated
Sean William Scott and Justin Timberlake.
Stifler meeting the guy from NSYNC. I'm in.
Back when these award shows could actually be fun, and you sometimes didn't care who won.
Take on you didn't, as long as that. Well, sometimes you still do because the award snub is a thing. But that's what I was saying about the Oscars for Best Animated. It was 2001. It was the year of the CG. You saw Donkey and Shrek, Mike and Sully from Monsters Inc., and Jimmy Neutron and Goddard all in the audience, ready to take or anticipating. I thought that was so cool as a team. but they explicitly said, the presenters, we ask you all to stay in your seats, please.
I gotta say this. You know who got nominated and then won Best Female Performance during the 2003 MTV Awards?
I got the
Kirsten Dunst for Spider-Man, Halle Berry for Die Another Day, Kate Hudson, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Queen Latifah on Chicago, okay, that one, Reese Witherspoon in Sweet Home, Alabama, okay, again, that one, and Kirsten Dunst won that year. What the fuck? What?
Wow!
Because teenagers were MTV's main audience.
Yeah.
It's like when you remember this is the Kids' fucking Choice Awards. Of course, SpongeBob's gonna win.
Yeah.
Jennifer Garner, breakthrough female for Daredevil.
At least Eminem won for 8 Mile. 8 Mile was really good.
Oh yeah.
Yo, you had one chance.
Okay. You don't need to break into song.
I'm just doing the intro. That's it.
Sorry.
If I break into the whole thing, YouTube will hammer down with Interscope's copyright infringement.
Yeah. It's funny because we're talking about the awards, and when I was talking about this year with Spider-Verse winning, it was so funny that with Ralph Breaks the Internet, they were already putting out that they won.
Oh yeah.
I saw that.
Surprise! They love Miles Morales.
Wow, Disney, you were so full of yourselves.
Disney, Mickey, you ignorant rodent. Well, but and now, is it any wonder you're getting paid with a lot of lawsuits with the Fox merger? Well, our female cast is limited, and we keep changing the rules of what a princess is.
Oh. Yeah, how many times
I can already foresee the winnings already.
It's like a similar thing with what about the Muppets over there? Well, our female cast is limited, and Sesame Street doesn't know what sex Gonzo Elmo is.
Oh, jeez. Well, they don't even have to worry about Elmo anyway.
Well, yeah, Elmo's a boy anyway, but he just has that high-pitched voice. Gosh, I'm a hubsnap.
Same thing applies to Tweety Bird, remember?
Oh, yeah, I used to think he was a girl as a kid.
I did too.
That gashing, because it was the eyelashes. All cartoon girls had eyelashes at the time.
Well, same applies to Normal.
Oh yeah, from Garfield and Friends, yeah, and the Garfield strips.
Yeah, then it is funny. Ever since then, any other appearance of Normal, they have to make sure he actually gets a legit male voice.
But the voice does not fit that little tiny kitten anymore because he sounds like Max from Goof Troop. And
that one, or Nick Cannon in the live action movies.
What, child?
Huh?
What's going on over there? I know she said she was multitasking, but is somebody else?
She's hearing voices.
I hear voices in my head.
No, that was really...
Dominic,
Welcome to the madhouse.
Hey, Dominic, I can agree with you. Wreck-It Ralph 2 was not good. I would say this, it's still not the worst case of being hit by the SJWs, but compared to some other cases, but it was still pretty bad.
I like that princess sequence.
Though. That was fine, but then everything else, just the whole premise of the movie just throws everything in the face of what happened in the first movie.
I hate sequels like that.
Yeah, especially when it's like, oh no, it's all right for Penelope to want to leave her game and become more, even though it means basically her game doesn't care about shit. That tells you she doesn't care about everyone else in her game. She just worries about herself, and we're told that's a good thing.
Doesn't that make it more of a
the movie before it was a bad thing?
Yeah, but it's like why is it okay for Penelope to do this, but for Ralph, how no, horrible. Oh, I can tell you what their explanation is. Because in Penelope's case, her game broke.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, what the hell?
At least Ralph is a good summon in Kingdom Hearts 3, from what I understand.
Oh, I'm going to look at
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I think seriously, the evolution of computer animation at this point, the PS4 actually makes you feel like you're in a copy of the movie at this point.
That was freaking amazing. It's like I sort of had an internal, I could make a drinking game out of the number of times where it's like it feels like I'm just straight in the movie.
Like I know, especially with when they did I don't know if this is really a spoiler, but I think it's pretty obvious that they brought Let It Go back in, and they got it to a T, man.
Awesome.
It's like you would have to squint really hard to find the difference between and it's like it wasn't even pre-rendered. They did it in like real time and everything.
Oh, hey, games have been doing that since, I could definitely say, like, for example, StarCraft 2, so much of their cinematics were, yes, you have the pre-rendered ones, you could tell which ones of those are pre-rendered, but then so many of the other ones are in-game, but you're like, holy shit.
Wow.
That's only if you have it on the max setting, of course. If you have it on the low setting, it's so painfully obvious.
Yes, but that's what surprised me by the KH3 trailer. So I'm like, wait, it feels like I'm actually in Frozen, in Toy Story, in Big Hero 6.
Like I say, back to Wreck-It Ralph. John C. Reilly is such an underrated actor, isn't he?
Mm.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, you had him in Wreck-It Ralph. You have him in Guardians of the Galaxy, Kong Skull Island. All those movies with Will Ferrell.
All right, yes.
Step Brother, we just become best friends. Yep.
It's like how Kevin Hart kind of became best friends with The Rock in a couple of movies.
Oh yeah, but
they play very good off it.
Like, but the funny thing about him is you keep expecting the roles he's going to show up in. He's going to be like in Kong Skull Island. You're like, oh boy, he's just going to be the pure comic relief. And no, he is one of the most endearing characters in that movie.
Yeah, it's a shame sometimes when you do like so many of these same like generic goofy movies, but then they really get a chance to shine.
I know, and that's why I'm hoping that obviously from the trailers, a lot of those leaked plot points for Avengers Endgame are not true. But I really hope he gets the big role that they were at least hinting off to, because I think he has potential. And if he's going to be the guy who's going to go full on Nova Force, be like a Nova character, I welcome it because he deserves it.
What I was just described as the Tom Hanks syndrome, because I remember it's like when I was a kid, I used to watch Adam Sandler movies a lot. Then he's doing dramatic roles, and I'm like, when did you become dramatic? And what, Danica, sing your guitar, sing Hanukkah. What happened? You're all depressed now.
Yeah, I know, that's so sad, especially because all the movies are just like kind of rehashes at this point with him. It's like, in the beginning, I'm like, okay, I could see like the talent he has, but then all of a sudden it's just kind of like, go on vacation. Hey, let's try Pixels. Oh, same plot.
And then when he does that dramatic role, you're like, dude, you're like, he realizes this, and he's basically deconstructing his character both on and off screen. Even though, like that one Netflix movie is in with Chris Rock and Dustin Hoffman, even he plays himself as such a arrogant jerk, even though he's supposedly one of the nicest guys in Hollywood.
Although I will also say this. Who here has seen the trailers for Toy Story 4?
I have.
I have.
I haven't.
Piper? Toy Story 4.
Yes or no?
The trailer.
No, I don't think I have. No.
Well, I will say this. That's the case where they actually, if you look at it, now I don't know if they are going for this or not, but when you have this little spork character, Forky, that's a spork that's turned into a toy. If some people are already accusing that that's an implication or based off of transgenderism, but I'm like, if that's true, that actually makes more sense in this aspect because he's basically a food utensil turned into a toy, and yet he's feeling like I'm supposed to be used for eating food and being thrown away, not a kid to play with me.
No, I love how he says it. I was supposed to be ate for soup or salad, maybe chili, and then off to the garbage I go.
I know, you're like, okay, that actually, if they're going that route, if it really is supposed to be an allegory for transgenderism, that makes sense.
It's being subtle, unlike other movies that try to jam it in your face.
Listen, with the exception of Cars 2, Pixar's not dumb. They're dumb. They know how to
well, let's just say, if you just ask your pets, they have a very interesting definition of what a toy is. Because you can buy something nice and expensive for your cat, and they'll want to play with the box that it came in.
Yeah.
That's a running gag. That's a running gag.
No, it's like, so I got buy the best Christmas gift I could have think of. They throw the Voltron robot in the pool, and then you just want to play with the box.
That's kind of my niece, too. I'll get her this big present as the box. She just wants to look at the box.
I think a spork would be
boxes are amazing though, Beth. Boxes are mystical in arcane.
Wait, we got two girls talking at once, one at a time.
Yeah, what were you saying, Piper?
I said a spork would be a good allegory without the little crisis of it being a utensil, simply because it's a spoon and fork at the same time.
That's true too. That is true too.
I mean, but the crisis that, I'm not a toy. I'm something completely different. I wasn't built for playing like Woody and Buzz or whatever.
Yeah, I know, but for transgenderism, it's a little better as a
on its own.
Yeah.
By the way,
Robert, also, like I said, I'm also curious on what they're going to be doing as Bo Peep.
You think she's going to be the bad guy?
That's an interesting theory.
But given how Tom Hanks said this made him cry, I have to wonder, is this really going to be the final movie?
Possible.
I really think that Toy Story 3 should have been the last movie.
I agree.
It closed everything up. It succinctly, made me bawl like a baby, which I'm still pissed about. But
I will say this, though. Given that ending, that's the ending is the most obvious reason why they didn't have Bo Peep. Unlike the other toys where, okay, you're still wondering why haven't they Melt being that close to the flames? It would have been breaking this suspense when you have a porcelain toy be that close to the flames.
Yep.
You're like, no.
Well, and they couldn't get the voice actress.
Really?
They couldn't get any thoughts?
Really? I didn't know that.
Weird.
That was slowly why she was being written out.
Oh.
I didn't know that. That is, but now, Mr. Bankman, I'm not reappearing. Ghostbusters, what do you want?
I love I can say all those old Ghostbuster cameos were the only good things I liked about the female Ghostbusters.
Right.
Those cameos were the only good things.
I've been revisiting the cartoon again. I forget again how much great that cartoon was.
Right.
They fight Cthulhu. Forgot in one episode. It's amazing.
And now here's another question. Anyone seen those Terminators photos?
I've seen the photo of Arnie. He's old, but still looks badass.
I gotta say, if it's true that he's not a Terminator, he's actually the man who was the model for the T-101s. One, that's been done in the novels, actually.
They're taking the expanded universe ideas. Who knew?
Well, I think those novels were loosely based off of suggestions from Cameron. Because I think having the guy who was the basis for the Terminators was something Cameron's been wanting to do for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think the idea sounds interesting because I don't know how many people have actually read those.
No one has.
Probably not a lot.
I don't think it really matters.
Although, to be fair, though, they made a joke of it in Terminator 3. Remember that deleted scene?
Oh, okay.
Where you have Arnold there, but he's looped by this horrible Southern accent. Like, hi.
Oh, my God, I remember that.
And then, of course, you're like, I don't like the voice. You have this other guy, but he's looped with Arnold saying, we can fix it.
I think more people have read the Dark Horse Terminator comics or RoboCop versus Terminator than they've read.
Oh, geez, they've never had a consistency with those comics.
They did. It amazes me how many adaptations there were getting back to RoboCop versus Terminator. That was like that and Alien versus Predator were like, oh, these are the two big rated R crossovers that are just making us crazy right now. And we saw, and of course, merchandising.
Did you know there was an Alien Predator versus Terminator comic?
Why not?
I think you told me about it once.
Yeah, it was set after Alien Resurrection, where this is after the war. They Ripley and the others make it to Earth, and that's when Skynet reactivates.
And I was like, poor Ripley can't catch a break.
Nope.
Clone, remember?
Right. It doesn't
well, still, Ripley, regardless of Ripley, she still can't catch a break.
It doesn't surprise. I see. There's a comic of that. I mean, one of your favorites, horror-wise, is Jason versus Freddy
versus Jason versus Ash.
Yeah. Groovy.
I just sent an invite to Chain Shark Media, also known as Phoenix Tornado. He's coming on.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Give him a moment.
Going back to the new Terminator thing. Isn't it supposed to be directed by the guy who did the first Deadpool?
Yep.
So I mean, I'm hopeful for this one.
And I'm kind of like Weaponized Nerd Rage. I'm more giving a wait and see for this. I'm waiting for the actual trailer first. I'm not just going to go buy off of screenshots where, oh, that one woman looks like a dude. It's like, let's wait until they see how they are in action first before we just go off of snapshots.
I know, seriously. Some people are just like, the way a certain person looks, they're like, nope, not giving it a chance. I'm like, seriously? The trailer hasn't even come out yet.
Yeah. Photo ops. Good.
Then again, those also like those people like from One Angry Gamer who's going off against that collector guy that was introduced in Mortal Kombat and saying, "Oh, so much emphasis on his man nipples." It's like Nerdette Tristan put it best. She's a woman and she didn't even pay attention to that. It's like you guys are stretching a little there.
Don't mention nipples. I'm now getting ideas of Rob Liefeld and Joel Schumacher running through my head.
The bad nipples.
Bad nipples and Captain America.
To be fair,
you like Heroes Reborn. You know what I'm talking about with Cap.
Well, to be fair with Joel Schumacher, at least his reasoning, at least you understand his reasoning. It's not a good reason, but at the same time, you're like, at least he had a reason. It wasn't because he was like, oh, they're like Greek statues.
The ambiguously gay do. Well, now that we got that chuck out of the way.
Hey, Shark.
Shark.
Hello.
Shark.
Hello.
We're
going to need a bigger boat.
Ollie, oxen free.
Now I want to watch.
No. I think he's trying to talk. Or not.
Now I want to watch Jaws. First I want to watch Terminator. Now I want to watch Jaws. You're going to get a bigger boat, right? They got to get back to work.
Oh, geez. Detective Pikachu versus the guy who pitched the live action Sonic movie. Detective Pikachu looks awesome, dude.
Yeah, no, I think no. I think he was making the comparison with like the whole, how everything looked with Detective Pikachu and then Sonic.
Oh.
Yeah, because like at least Detective Pikachu, it looks like it's catching the spirit of the games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of those Pokemon, they turned into nightmare fuel.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think that's the case where they were going to be if you made them realistic. Let's be honest.
Then maybe they should have left those ones out.
Shark, are you
Still,
there?
they did a phenomenal job. It's like Uncanny Valley. What's that?
Although the ring tongue with a human tongue, like.
Shark, are you there?
Hello.
There you are.
Hi there.
Hello.
Hello. We hear you. We hear you.
Can you hear us?
Hello.
Can you hear us? We hear you.
Yeah, we hear you.
We hear you. Can you hear us?
Yep. Yay. There you go.
Hey everybody.
Welcome aboard.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. What's up?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
I'm a victim of circumstance. Oh, victim of circumstance.
Okay, hold on.
Sorry.
Yep, I'm back.
Yep, you are. It's been a while. But yeah, I gotta say though, with Detective Pikachu though, I think this is one of the best ways they could do a live action Pokemon movie. Was to do something that was in the world, but not having like, oh, we got to cast a live action Ash and Misty, which I swear, there's no way they're going to get a 10-year-old to do either role.
Yeah, I know.
I think they might do it. Maybe what?
Also, how did Ash not age in
let's not go there.
How does Bart Simpson and Lisa Simpson not age?
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, that 10-year-old, when they hire that 10-year-old actor, it's like, okay, you have to stay 10 years old forever. It's like, I don't think I can do that.
No. Hollywood gave up on that after Leave It to Beaver got canceled. After they realized, no, the Beav is starting to hit puberty. His voice is changing. Just do a clip show, end it. Let's focus on another TV show.
Right.
Still a fun yet wholesome show, though.
Right.
I still can't believe the mom went on to do Nanny for Muppet Babies.
I can't believe that either.
Barbara Kingsley, I believe her name was.
Right.
So,
I am definitely looking forward to Detective Pikachu. But like I said before with Terminator, I'm just like, yeah, I mean, like, it looks like it's going in the right direction, but yeah, I think with like anything, you need to wait for the trailer to see how it's going to play out instead of just already destroying it based on a screenshot.
Yeah, for God's sake.
Jay Shark, what's your opinion on any of the stuff we've talked about? I don't know if you've been paying attention.
Well, I did see the preview of Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
And I thought it was Deadpool 3.
Oh! Ouch!
But no Bob Ross trailer. Well, lots of happy little trees.
That was one of the best.
Oh, that was funny.
Bob Ross
love that one.
Yeah, well, it's what's Ryan Reynolds. What do you expect? But when you take into account, that's basically how the Detective Pikachu voice was.
Although everybody still wants Danny DeVito.
What about Danny DeVito?
Yeah, he was one people wanted.
I was going to go see. I went to see Shazam, and I heard Ryan Reynolds' voice, and I was like, "Hey, is that Deadpool 3?" Oh, it's Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, but I gotta say though, it still looks good, and I love the trailer. But I've seen the recent TV spots they've been doing. They actually have had even more, like saying, "Oh, mother of Arceus," or whatever that the Pokemon god is. You're like, "Oh my god, they're including references like that."
It's like in My Little Pony, how people make the jokes like at Celestia's expense, mother and me.
Oh, yeah, and that little flash cartoon. But yeah, I love when they're doing that. Or I love the other one, the main guy character, Justice Smith. The girl's talking and saying like, you want to be alone at night? I'm pretty good at keeping myself entertained at night. Oh, gee, that came out so wrong. You're like, you do not know how to talk to women, do you?
Wow.
I can relate.
That is an actual line in a trailer.
I feel the secondhand embarrassment all the way from here.
I know, seriously. Gotta catch them all.
Oh, then here's another one. I think he just wet himself. Oh, no, and peed himself. No, wait, that was me.
Oh, God.
No,
I'm not kidding. That was in another TV spot, apparently.
Sigh.
There's a Psyduck in the movie, Eric.
Thanks. I already have a headache. Thank you. Not really. My head doesn't hurt.
Sorry.
I can't believe I was really happy.
Really
happy that Charizard, one of my favorite Pokemon, was there. I was like, yes.
Oh, duh.
Everybody wants Charizard. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, but I love how that's all look. He's like, and it makes it look like this is how a Pokemon fight really would be, especially at a cage fight. And it's like, okay, is this basically the Pokemon equivalent of cockfighting?
It's like before Pokemon came out, there was a game called Saint. I think it was. Hold on, let me double check. Filibuster.
Okay, but yeah, I mean,
I was gonna say, I do like that they're doing it in a separate region so that it can just kind of allow them to do their own thing, and maybe this region does things differently.
Yeah,
it allows them more freedom. Yeah.
That, and I also just love the idea that again. It's like every time you see in the games or in the cartoons, you're like a Pikachu versus a Charizard. Oh, it's a flying. He can just take it out. In this case, it's showing it's a dragon versus a tiny mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah, in reality, that would still be a case where you're like, it doesn't matter if he shoots lightning at it, it's still a dragon.
Yeah.
That mouse ain't
Yeah,
speeding
that's
out.
pretty cool.
That mouse ain't speeding out.
One time I was playing Pokemon when I was a kid, and I got Gyarados, a red Gyarados.
Oh, the red Gyarados, yep.
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Silver and Gold.
Then I was like, okay, maybe I can teach you how to fly. Then I looked at him like, what?
Yeah, you could, if I recall.
Type.
Well, because it's a dragon.
Type.
It's a dragon type, I think, is why it could fly.
Have you seen those wings?
I hear it. Okay, I found the game, but that was before the pre-Pokemon, but was an RPG.
Well, technically, it's based off a dragon that flew no matter what without wings.
Okay, right.
Never
You were
mind.
saying, Eric?
I think it was based on the Chinese dragons.
Right. Eric,
They
you
could
were
just
saying?
automatically fly.
Here's the game I was thinking of: the Shin Megami Tensei RPG series. 10 years before
Oh.
Pokemon existed.
Yes!
You know about
You know
those?
that game? Oh, you know that game?
I play them. Yeah, I like them.
Okay.
I know the name, but I can't say I've ever played them.
Yeah, I think I've heard of it.
I've heard of them
basically-
too.
Your party is made up of demons you catch, and you can combine them to make stronger, cooler demons. And there's
Yeah, I think
different
I
things and
did
stuff.
hear
That's
that.
legit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's what it says: Trainer
and they
battles.
look freaking cool.
Here's what it says: trainer battles in Pokemon are a joke to be muggins because NPC trainers challenge on site, and the loser has to get one of their money. In Shamagesi 2, enemy summoners have no complication against ambushing and murdering another summoner for their computers, demon summoning tools, and give up valuable items a plea for mercy when they find themselves defenseless.
Yep.
Fuck.
That's metal, man.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to catch the demons in those games, the demons can trick you and take your money or give you stuff. But yeah, sometimes in order to recruit them, you gotta talk to them. Well, that is how you recruit them. Actually, you actually have to talk to them, and some of them will be like, "Well, I'll join you if you give me half your health." And you have to guess whether or not they are sincere, because sometimes they are and sometimes they're not. And it's the same with money. It'll be like, if you give me like 100, I can't remember, like it's gold or something. It's been a while. But they'll
Wow,
be like, yeah, if you
this
give me
game
that,
honestly sounds awesome.
And it was 10 years before Pokemon?
Yeah, that's what it
you
says
can
here.
get it. You can get them for your DS.
Oh, awesome. It reminds me of
Wow.
Digimon. It reminds me of like, hey guys, what's the difference between Pokemon and Digimon? The Digidestin will actually punch you in the goddamn face.
Yeah.
That's how Death Battle proved that one.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, speaking of which, I cannot wait for Captain Marvel vs. Shazam Death Battle tomorrow.
That's gonna be fun.
Shazam's gonna win.
Yeah.
I don't see any way.
Hey, given out Android 18 beat Carol.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was so satisfying. So satisfying. Even though they did bullshit by having it be, because she was able to absorb energy in the game, she could absorb energy here. It's like, no, they made it very clear in the manga, the canon source material, which you always say you follow, that she can't absorb.
Well,
What the hell, man?
This was the same devil whose original rule says we can go composite characters, which is why Link is basically a composite of all the different Legend of Zelda Links over the years.
Well, until recently now they don't.
Recently, yeah, now they pick and choose.
But they said that they would always stick to the canon source material, remember?
Well, now, yeah. Now,
since the beginning, they always made it clear. It was always the canon. Canon trumps any of the other stuff.
Well, it definitely did with Superman versus Goku. And this was post-crisis Superman.
I still say that's valid. That is still a valid Death Battle. I don't care what anyone else says.
Well, yeah, because they even admitted post-crisis Superman as a definitive power set, but got stronger as he went. And considering pre-crisis Superman made of new powers on the fly and could destroy planets by sneezing, probably a good idea.
I know. Achoo! Oh, gee, there goes the galaxy.
Superman, did you destroy the galaxy again?
Superman. I'd have face. Robin.
Well, yeah, and he did go around the world and change time to save Lois.
Okay. First, at least you said he changed.
Conversation strikes again.
At least you say that he changed time, because everyone keeps saying, he spun the world around. No, if he's going to go so fast, he's going to go through time. What do you expect expect him to do? Just fly off into space and just hope that he ended up going to at that point in time?
Somewhere Jason Alexander is still saying, I still find myself having problems with the logic of that part of the film. But meanwhile, with Batman, Robin, something has happened to my costume. You're colored in rainbows.
Oh, geez, the rainbow Batman.
And then the zebra Batman. I love that.
The zebra Batman.
I love that. I can't believe these are Silver Agey things, but Brave and the Bold actually made them kind of cool.
Well, you know, it's funny too. At the store I work at, I have to sometimes put away comics, and I'll see some of the Silver Age stuff, and it's pretty hilarious. Like, because they did this run with that was called Lois Lane, Superman's girlfriend. Lois
Lane.
Yeah,
and they have one here. I had to take a picture of it. I got put on Twitter where Lois becomes a robot. She becomes the bionic girl. I was like, what?
You should see the one where she became a black woman and basically like,
it's better than it sounds. It was
I know, but it was basically people have, I don't think that it's actually accurate, but some people keep assuming to say, well, and you better marry me. Otherwise, I'll accuse you of being a racist.
SJWs would have a field day with that tonight.
was that real? Was that a real Silver Age comic? Oh my god!
It was Bronze Age actually, when they were trying to be more socially relevant.
Yeah, but even Gale's
that's when the Green Lantern, Green Arrow stuff came along.
Hey Piper, just to tell you something funny, I just got blocked by Gail Simone recently.
Only recently?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Nothing. I got blockbotted.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I will say,
strike again.
But I will say this though. I still remember at one point where even Gail Simone said how Lois Lane was such a bitch in the Bronze Age. He's like, why? Even women were like, why is Superman interested in her? Although to be fair, Byrne didn't help out with that at all.
It's like Homer Simpson said in an early episode. I never got what Superman saw in her. Now Wonder Woman.
Homer, have you been hanging out with Frank Miller?
Oh God.
No, he only drinks stuff. Hey, this Pawtucket Brewery is a cheap knockoff. I like to say you take inspiration.
I know, but still though, I still remember when Gail said that, and JC saying how, look, it's one thing to try and get away from being devoted to Superman. It's another to go the complete opposite direction. I'm like, wow, Gail. Yeah. Were you actually being honest there, or were you just bullshitting because DC told you to say that?
It's amazing when you go back to the Golden Age and you find out, no, wait, she was capable at first. What happened? So by the time post-crisis came around, they're like, let's take her back to what she was really like.
Oh, I know. That's what I loved about her. And making her a military brat, I think, really helped.
Oh, yeah. That's the only thing that burned in the other
one. Then, as we learned in that one comic, Rob read, that one Superman comic, she's not a very good parent.
Oh, do not get me started on what Bendis has done.
Oh no, not this again. Not this again.
Ingrid, of everyone else here, Ingrid has seen me in person more often than anyone else. She knows how I went off on that.
Tell me true. Did he have a conniption? Do you know what a conniption looks like from a comic book nerd?
Ingrid, he's asking you.
I can't really say that comics are exactly my area of nerd expertise.
Did you see me have a conniption? Is what he's asking. Do you see me have that?
Yes, I did. I remembered you having a conniption over this.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, hey, Ingrid, how are you? It's like, oh, the freaking Lois! I'm just abandoned this kid there, grandfather.
I'm sorry. I have rarely lost it over a comic, but when I saw it, I'm like.
You're like Carbon in South Park. What's up? Does go like?
Screw you, Bendis. I'm going to Batman.
Hey, man. Now this is what happens. Now this is why Disney sucks. Okay? Yeah, you're a guy. Yeah, and you. Yeah. Screw you guys. I'm going in.
I know, but seriously, I have again. It's my love of Superman's the only reason why I'm sticking Superman out. If it wasn't.
You are a big take. This is the only guy I know that's not named Jerry Seinfeld. I know that's such a diehard Superman.
Hey, I have been through buying Superman on a regular basis since post-Infinite Crisis.
Yeah, so he loved the Triangle years.
Oh yeah, I loved them. I don't own everything from them, but I own what I do own. I love one of my earliest comics was a few issues of World Without Superman, the death, the funeral. That was one of my earliest books. Superman wasn't in it much, but it still defined how I loved Superman because of how much of an influence he had even after he died.
I know, like, even as a kid, even like when you're a kid back then, who Superman is. But then I remember when I was in some store and I heard about the death of Superman. I'm just like, it's like it's
Oh,
supposed
that's
to
a
be
good
a
comic.
fictional character,
Yeah.
but you honestly felt really bad about it. You're like, whoa,
But the funny
really?
thing is, though, because one, it was a slow news day, but also because just like people kept thinking, this was back in the day where people still cared about America and cared about like, wait, Superman, he's dead? He's really dead?
It doesn't up the whole
Shit.
I was on ABC.
Yeah, nowadays the Superman died. Even if the concept of death in comic books didn't matter anymore, even if you forgot that, if it still mattered this day, I'm sure if Superman died, people would be like, who cares?
It's gonna be like Lord of the Rings, where Aragorn gets back, or what's his name? Oh, jeez, I haven't watched Lord of the Rings for a while.
Gandalf.
Oh man, it's just like Gandalf coming back. Hello, everybody, I'm back.
Oh yeah, I know.
No,
It was
but
just like,
I'm more saying if let's just assume that death in comic books would not lose its impact. Let's say it still did, and if Superman died today, no one would care.
Because everybody's on the Batman, Spider-Man.
No. I'm saying because of how people feel about an American icon, no one would care. They'd be like, ugh.
Although, to be fair, once you introduce ways to get around death, that sort of trope kind of loses impact.
Oh, that's true, but that's not what I was saying. I was just talking about how people look at American icons today. I don't think anyone would care.
I'm surprised nobody attacks Elvis. I'm surprised nobody attacks fucking Elvis Presley. Honestly. I'm surprised.
I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm right. I'm surprised the SJWs haven't gone after. That was even in death.
Probably because there's a billion rock stars they can already focus on before they get to the king of rock.
Sorry.
You say that like I haven't seen posts like that occasionally floating around Tumblr every now and again, but fortunately they're not common.
Right. AD, you know what the funny thing is? Yeah, Sega's doing good sweet stuff with PC. So is Capcom. Capcom has actually officially stated that PC is a definite platform they're going to keep on pushing for.
Well,
and I'm saying, it's about damn time.
Yeah.
I was actually going to segue something with the whole rock and roll discussion, if you didn't mind. Quickly.
Oh, sorry.
Exactly. That's why I brought it up. Now, but speaking of which, especially with all the documentaries coming out, first it was Bohemian Rhapsody, which I heard was good, even though there was some glaring flaws. Now, Motley Crue has their Netflix movie based on their book, The Dirt. I'm wondering what rock stars could be next, because I'm interested in these kind of documentaries for like Aerosmith or Black Sabbath or Deep Purple or Led Zeppelin. There's a lot of rock and roll history they could dig from that, and the triumph and tragedy of a lot of these bands.
Anyone got any rock and roll bands that you'd want to see have a movie made out of them, even if they just focus on one person like Bohemian Rhapsody mostly did?
AC/DC.
Oh yeah, you just took my.
Oh yeah, the rise and fall. Oh yeah, especially when they get to the part where they lose Bon Scott and Brian Johnson comes in. Yeah.
I say Rolling Stones.
Yeah, the Rolling Stones definitely.
Rolling Stones, yeah.
That history.
They identified sex, drugs, and rock and roll for a clip before all the Sunset Strip from the 80s came along.
Wait, remind me, would Guns N' Roses count?
The Guns N' Roses could make a doc. Yeah, they were number one on that list I told you about other rock bands they would like to see a doc on. The rise and fall of Guns N' Roses would be interesting.
True. Actually, I definitely want Nirvana.
Oh yeah, Nirvana is another good one, especially since it's the 25th anniversary of Kurt Cobain's death.
I know. That was the one I was going to say, because I want to know what they would do about the...
who do you think
I want them to highlight all the stuff around his death. Who would
play Kurt?
They could play Kurt and Courtney and Dave Grohl and Kurt Loder from MTV and all these guys.
Hey, the dude that played Shaggy in the Scooby-Doo movies.
Matthew Lillard?
You want Matthew Lillard to play Kurt?
Well, given how he has shown he could do drama.
I mean, I'm just trying to picture him all dressed up in the wig, Weird Al wearing Smells Like Nirvana and smoking a cigarette with an acoustic guitar in his hand, waiting for the Meat Puppets to get on stage. What are they tuning? A harp? I thought we were these big rich rock stars. We should afford a lot of guitars.
That's like Zoinks. I just overdid the Scooby Stacks, man.
Thanks, man. Casey Kasem got off the phone. I'm 100% vegetarian again.
Oh.
No more chicken and meat for me. Thank me.
Yeah.
That was the thing. I can't believe it. 50 years of Scooby-Doo. This is 1969. This year marks the 50th anniversary.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's the only Hanna-Barbera product that's still relevant.
Oh, geez, someone had to bring up Ultra Shaggy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
For
anyone, I had to look deep into that to figure out how this all started. It was because of that one movie.
That one movie someone put in the Ultra Instinct music.
Yep.
Yeah, then they had another Shaggy meme a little while ago where it was like the cast of the Scooby-Doo movie talking about how Shaggy's just like this omnipresent figure, does all this awesome stuff.
Just kind of felt like it manifested out of nowhere, which honestly just made the meme that much better.
It's like Uganda Knuckles and all that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
The funniest one I still say is Big Chungus, how it just came from someone trolling his mother to go to a GameStop and find that game.
Oh, no, I've been going around everybody trying to explain what Big Chungus is because I'm such a Looney Tunes fan.
I know, but the fact that came out because a mother legitimately thought it was real.
Yeah, that's right.
They're like, what? Because it turned out that meme had lasted for like a year already before someone decided to support it as a joke. It was the fact that someone fell for it that made it legendary.
That'll hold them all right. Bully.
Yep, and you know what? It's been my favorite meme of last year. Bowsette.
Oh God!
Oh yeah, that was
awesome. I think it's because of that. It's because the reason why I think that got so huge was because not just because it's a sexy female, but I think it's also just the fact that it looks like the way the drawing design was. It looked like a legitimate character.
It could have been a legit character in the Mario game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. No.
When I heard about it, I was like, okay. Then they told me it was a guy. I was like.
Yeah, I don't think Nintendo wants to go that far.
No. The main reason why they can't even use the designs at all is because that whole notion of that. I know Game Series went over this recently. How it turned out.
Oh yes, all of the
gray area of fan art. The gray area of fan art where technically a person cannot make money off of selling the fan art of the copyright characters, but the creators cannot utilize the fan art since they have the copyright for their specific fan art.
Marvel, even before Disney, had a similar thing about fan fiction, which was, sorry, we can't endorse any unsolicited.
Well, no, but that's different. That's different.
Okay, it still sounded like a similar.
No. I'm saying that's the reason why when turns out their artwork that was used for their advertisement for the new Five Nights at Freddy's game, yes, they're doing another one. It turns out, it turns out they used another fan art off of it, so they had it taken down, and he apologized for it. But that's the reason why is if the guy sued for using his fan art, he would have a bit of a case.
Really?
Yeah. That's interesting. That's a really interesting topic, especially with how fan art and the official people use it and stuff. That's really
I know. So it's
the videos are really fascinating. You should check them out.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, basically. You can and neither side has legal standing.
Which videos were you talking about?
Game Series.
Alex loves Game
Matt Pat.
Yeah, he loves the Pokemon game theory stuff. He finds it interesting and funny.
Yeah.
But what was I going? I was going to say something else. I'm losing it. But hey, this is a free for all. So
right.
Getting back to Scooby real quick. Favorite of those original 4 direct-to-video movies? Go.
Witch's Ghost.
Zombie Island.
Anyone else?
Ladies?
We've just 3 of them are muted now, so.
Son of a.
Are you guys alive? Oh wait, there's Ingrid.
Sorry, I zoned out. What was the question?
Of those 4 Scooby-Doo anime movies: Zombie Island, Witch's Ghost, Alien Invaders, and Cyber Chase.
Which one was your favorite? Out of the 4.
I don't really remember the movies by name, in all honesty.
Okay, what were the monsters?
Do you remember?
Like, were there zombies and werecats? Was there a ghost, both fake and real? Was there, aliens, both fake and real? Or
I think there were ghosts.
Ghosts?
So, yeah.
So that was Witch's Ghost. That's the one that had the Hex Girls.
Yeah. Somebody
a major reason Robert liked that one?
No, it's also because of Tim Curry.
Robert.
Did somebody say Tim Curry? No, he loves Scooby-Doo. That guy loves fucking.
In fact, he was going to be in the first live-action movie instead of Mr. Bean, but then he found out Scrappy was going to be in it. He's like, nope, I'm out. I don't want to be anywhere near that little shit.
I just imagine him doing it in that voice, like, I don't want to go anywhere near that creature.
Little shit, no, that little shit.
Yeah, I don't want to go anywhere near that little creature.
Oh, speaking of Tim Curry segues, guys, I was looking up. I was playing the song "Coolger" Eric at a party. Everybody cracked out the line from Home Alone. No, hey, you little.
You pervert! I'm gonna slap you, silly.
No.
Of course, the funny thing is, a clown scared off Tim Curry.
A bozo inflatable.
No, but a clown scared off it.
Oh, anyway. The irony.
Oh, sweet irony.
I don't know. I want someone to like edit that part from Home Alone 2 with the shower and just have it be with Tim Curry's line from it. It's like, do you have Prince Albert in a can? You do? You better let the partner out then. Wah, wah, wah.
But boy, Tim Curry. The fact that he's still trying to keep up good spirits despite what his stroke did to him.
I know, that just hurts.
It does, but again, he's at least in good spirit. At least he's not. Doesn't seem to be miserable.
Everybody's getting old, and it sucks.
Yeah,
age and injuries are catching up to people. I can't stand all my favorite actors and wrestlers now have gray hair. Now to take care of, let alone need to walk in a cane and a wheelchair at this point to autograph signings.
Oh, geez, you want to know the worst? I know I've told Alex and you and Eric this, but going to a comic convention, meeting Big Bird.
Carol Spinney.
Yeah.
Oh.
That was painful because you're like, oh, I see why he retired. He at least, because now at that point, he wasn't even talking, wouldn't shake hands. He was wearing sunglasses inside, was needing help doing the autographs. I'm like, wow. Between when his last day of shooting and this point, he just deteriorated fast.
This is what happens. People have talked about when Ed Sullivan and Richard Fick and Regis Philbin left television. They look like they've aged 20 years.
Yeah, but dude, this was like a month or a couple months.
Well, he's been with the Jim Henson Company for since '69, and he's in his 80s now, right?
No, dude, I get it. I'm just saying, no, it wasn't even that long between his last day of shooting and this point.
No, but yeah, you give up you give up a good outlet to let your grouchiness out with Oscar. You're not going to look good when you come back. But you told me that the actors who played Bob and Gordon were a lot.
Oh yeah, they were there. They were so fun, especially when I talked to the guy who played Gordon about my favorite bit from Follow That Bird. You have my permission just this once. Now come on, because I just told him like I love that. He's like he agreed. He loved how much that basically turned all the idea of an educational moment on its head.
I shouldn't even be standing right now.
I know. He's just like, oh, now you're going to go for one of those moments? Really?
I know. He even makes that face. He's like, oh, come on. Big Bird, what are you doing? Olivia shouts in the car.
I know. Gordon, what are you doing? Are you crazy? Get back in here.
Yeah, so it looks like Piper has to go.
Oh, okay. See ya, Piper. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, see ya.
See ya.
See ya.
All right, I forgot I was unmuted. But yeah, I got to go.
Yep. It's all right. Take care.
Have fun, y'all.
Nice talking to you.
Yep.
Speaking of, by the way, speaking of which, I can't get it through my nephew's head that Follow That Bird is better than Elmo and Grouchland. He considers Elmo and Grouchland the crowning achievement of Sesame Street.
The funny thing about that and Follow That Bird is that it's just a story with the characters.
It's basically a road movie, but once again takes the idea of the Muppets in the real world and say, let's just take them off the street, put them in the real world, and see what the hell happens.
Okay,
these kids today.
I gotta ask this. Honest opinions with everyone. I know Ingrid and I talked about it when we saw the trailer, but the Dora the Explorer movie.
The fact that that's a thing, 10 years after the show stopped being relevant to me.
Although I gotta say though, it's just the way they're playing her up. I'm like, okay, you know what? That's probably how she would be when she got older if she just continued on the way the show went.
She'd turn into Kim Possible.
I thought it'd be like Laura Croft or something.
Of course she brought a knife to school. I'm like,
no.
Okay.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Yeah, but also the fact that she's so socially inept. You're like, okay, that actually makes some sense if she's been in the jungle all this time.
Yeah, I just saw the poster for that, and I'm just thinking of that video from College Humor.
With Ariel
like,
Winter.
yeah, that's beautiful.
College Humor is great.
I know, but I just love that with Ariel Winter, and you're like, they're basically like, okay, did they look at that parody and decided let's actually make that serious?
Damn.
Yeah, I just thought it was a parody for a minute there. I was like, wait.
It's like that Legends of the Hidden Temple movie that came out in 2000.
Yeah, but that's the other thing I told Weaponized Nerd Rage once. I'm like, okay, why is it this is getting the theatrical movie and all those other ones like Hey Arnold's Jungle movie or the Legend of the Hidden Temple movie didn't?
On television.
Yeah, they were television movies. Why is this getting the theatrical one?
Well, I guess the only reason I could think of is because, I mean, compared to those other shows, like, we loved them as kids, but Dora was just like,
yeah, but
this big cash cow.
But it's been how far since that was relevant?
I mean, it was still a thing by the time Toys R Us went out of business. I would know. I sold them. But they were trying to make Dora older, even by that point, with their teenage fashion dolls.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Oh, dude, yeah, when they tried to make her...
Which did not do so well because, A, Moral Guardians, and B, the ponies were doing Equestria Girls by that.
Well, and also people did not like just making her a girly girl when she wasn't.
I thought Equestria Girls was okay.
Oh, I know. Oh, I love Equestria Girls. In fact,
oh man, you're really taking me back. I definitely was very big back in like the first few seasons when it was like really getting started. But I need to get back to that. I think the last thing I did is when I was watching the like the more proper like MLPFIM movie when I was coming back from my trip to London area last year, and that was also fantastic.
Oh, that movie was fantastic, but this is the last season, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, really?
Yep.
Oh man, I think I guess I need to catch up. I need to catch up big time. I think I fell off at around season 4 or so.
Hey, open-minded movie man, my day's going fine actually. How's yours?
Yeah, how you doing, dude?
But get this. In fact, they just did a new Equestria Girls hour special and unfortunately, it's one of those cases where the trailer for it played up one aspect that was a very small bit, and even when the writers of the movie was like, "No, why did you guys do that? That's misrepresenting the movie." We're basically to the point where the human Twilight, Sunset, and Rainbow Dash end up in Equestria or in Ponyville.
So
don't you love when movie trailers do that kind of stuff?
Sunset Shimmer.
They do, Alex.
What? Yeah. Wait, what?
Was I the only guy who liked Sunset Shimmer?
Oh, everyone loves Sunset. Everyone loves Sunset
at this point.
Everyone loves her.
She's a fine character. I still can't believe they have a lot of these Canadian voices lead back. Robert Kidd is surprised they lead back to Reboot.
Or Reboot or Rama 1/2 or whatever. But get this, the voice for Sunset Shimmer, who's also Twilight's singing voice, because Tara can't do the singing voices because she's in LA. She was also. Did you ever see the Fantastic Four Earth's Mightiest Hero cartoon?
I did.
No.
That was the one where they looked younger and hipper. But
it's a French anime kind of show.
Yeah. She voiced She-Hulk.
She did.
And Jen Walt, but she did a great job. Her She-Hulk was so great and sassy. And forget it.
I like She-Hulk.
Yeah, it was, and it was co-written by Dan Slott. Now, this was Dan Slott pre-Spider-Man, so he was best known for his She-Hulk run. So it made sense.
And she did get to say at one point, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And the mole man was fucking pissed because he's like,
but he had her chained up. Then she shrunk back to Jen, and then regrew back up to She-Hulk. And he's like, you can't do that. The Thing never did that.
I especially really liked her in the Hulk series, animated series.
Oh yeah, where she was voiced by especially with the first time she transformed, it sounded like she was orgasming.
Wait, wait a second, what?
The 90s cartoon.
Yeah, who voiced her?
No, I don't remember who voiced her. I just remembered. Billy Zane's sister, I think. Someone Zane.
Hold on, the Incredible.
I know Cree Summers took over in a later season, or in the Hulk.
1996 television series by UPN. That takes me back because it's.
But that was the Incredible Hulk cartoon. I'm talking about when her appearance in Fantastic Four.
Oh, Wait, what?
Yeah.
Which Fantastic Four are we
The
talking
90s Fantastic Four.
That she did not appear in that show. I checked. I watched every episode.
Okay.
I don't think she appeared in the movie either.
No. Okay. Oh, here it is. She was Lisa Zane and then Cree Summers.
There you go. So it was the 90s UPN cartoon.
You're right. But yeah, but like I said, the first time she changed, Lisa Zane just made her sound like she was orgasming.
I have to check this show out now for reasons.
Yeah. I always like the villains for some reason.
Oh yeah. Oh, hey, you know the funny that 90s series was practically like even back when you just had Batman and barely had Superman. Marvel was already doing their own little animated universe.
They did. It started with X-Men and then like Spider-Man and Iron Man, and they had an Avengers cartoon and later a Silver Surfer cartoon.
But unfortunately, Silver Surfer in an ironic way basically ended. That was the last production of it and the last episode, and then a cliffhanger where Thanos destroyed everything. So you're like, well, the animated universe is gone.
What a great way to end this series.
And the franchise.
Yeah.
But yeah, I look back on the 90s Spider-Man, and saw the crossovers. I'm like, this was the MCU before, but it was an MCAU before the Batman Superman adventures.
Yeah.
If that's how Endgame ends, I don't know if I'll be extremely pissed or give them a round of applause for that.
Oh, no.
I got from the Fireman series was, ooh-wee.
That was as soon as when I heard Stanley passed away, I'm like, I gotta find that clip where the animated meets him and they swing around the city. How am I gonna get down?
Right.
That was a great cameo.
Oh yeah, keep in mind that the guy who played Tony Stark, he was from Airplane.
That's right. The guy who played Tony Stark in the 90s. Well, War Machine was voiced by James Avery, aka Uncle Phil from Friends.
And Shredder.
Oh man.
But I don't want to rule this dimension. I want to rule Earth.
But I don't want to conquer this place.
I know.
Want to conquer Earth.
That's what he just said.
Yeah, he really was scarier as Uncle Phil. Let's be honest.
No. Yo, Uncle Phil. That honey was supposed to get okay cookies. That woman was half your age. You will.
Hey, open-minded movie.
I like it when Uncle Phil threw jazz. That's hilarious.
Hey, movie man. You know another movie that Kristen Stewart wasn't that bad in? Zasura, the sequel to Jumanji. She was in that as the big sister of the two kids, and while she was frozen literally for a lot of the movie, she actually does when she's around. You're like, oh, okay, she's actually putting in some acting and emotion. Not a whole lot, but better than Twilight.
Yeah, Jumanji.
Although I feel like with Twilight, they kind of got screwed over by having a bad script to begin with.
Wow.
No,
that's
true.
I actually never read and watched Twilight. I never watched it as a kid, and I was like, what is this?
Oh gosh, I had my Twilight phase as a kid, and trust me, I am super embarrassed about it now.
Yeah, I only saw it.
I've gotten some better taste in literature.
Yeah, well, I only saw like a bit of the first movie for a few minutes just because I was curious. I remember laughing, and I'm just like, oh, let's just watch the whole thing just for shits and giggles.
It's okay.
Oh yes, I remember that when my mom was also big on it too. She could not take my brother to the theater because he would just rip on it the entire time. It's like I can't watch these movies with you when you're around.
Yeah, no, never take the fellas to the movie. They'll just either just groan or just make fun of it.
Yeah, if I did watch Twilight, I'd probably fall asleep. I'd probably just fall asleep and go.
It'll turn into Mystery Science Theater 3000. Yeah, and I know Riff Tracks has done Twilight by now.
I love that one.
In the not too distant future, next Sunday, AD, la la la.
Hey Alex, did you watch the recent the stuff with Netflix again?
Oh, I haven't. I'm behind on that.
Oh, hey, we gotta watch it when I come over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mystery Science Theater is comedy gold.
Oh, geez. Okay. Hey, Shark, did you at all see the first of the Netflix Mystery Science Theater season?
At all?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, well, And sometimes I occasionally visit Eric and Alex. And when the last time we did, we watched that season, at least some of the episodes, one of which was Avalanche, and it had some of the most hilariously cringy effects and random moments.
This is when you knew the disaster movie genre was at its tail end.
Especially when they did one of the worst cases of a special effect of a guy just slides in and all of a sudden then snow just like whoosh, but it's so horrible. You're like, wow.
It looks like blue paint got on the screen.
I know. And then all of a sudden, all these emergency vehicles come and they just end up crashing. I'm just like, what?
Because they're sliding on the ice.
I know. And I know you're like, more people die from the incompetency of the rescue crews than died from the avalanche. But then there's a one point where the avalanche is happening, and all of a sudden it's just cheerleader randomly in the kitchen, and even the guy, the robots that all that were watching, like, what? Where'd she come from?
It's almost like it reminds me of Jean-Claude Van Damme in Sudden Death, where he fights the mascot and an assassin in the penguin suit and just shoves his head in the oven.
I know, but then it goes to the point where there's a grandma in there, not grandma, a mother who's constantly drinking, and then she's in an ambulance that falls off and blows up. It's like, what, did she become explosive because of all the alcohol?
That's Bender from Futurama waiting to explode. My head again.
I know. And again, I just loved with some of these old movies, and it's like, oh, these are just so rich.
Yeah. What was the other one we saw? Star Crashers?
Oh, something like that. Yeah. And you know what the funny is? Two of the movies we kept thinking like, oh, that's the actor, the big name actor. Wait, that wasn't it.
Yeah, we thought it was David Hasselhoff, but
then we found out he was later. Then you're like, oh,
yeah.
Oh, there's the Hoff.
I mean, in the original series, they kept mistaking one actor for Alan Thicke from Growing Pains.
Speaking of an actor who seems to get a running gag, Alan, ever since Wreck-It Ralph, how many times does Alan Tudyk keep showing up? You think he's going to be the villain, and then that's the joke of where he's not the villain. Ever since King Candy and Wreck-It Ralph.
Hi, I'm Will Arnett. You think I'm gonna put on my best? This is a Nickelodeon movie.
All right, come on, it's a Nickelodeon movie. Really, you think I'm gonna bring my A material?
Yeah, seriously.
Boy, how many stuff has he been in lately?
I know. And not counting the Arrested Development new seasons. He's been in like a lot.
BoJack Horseman, Teen Titans Go to the movies, the Lego movies as Batman.
Right.
Oh, that was him as Batman. Oh.
Yeah, he's Lego Batman. Well, at least in the movies, in the video game, it's Troy Baker.
Today I learned.
But again,
I know.
And first try.
Now you know. So
the Ninja Turtles movie. I mean, seriously, the guy has been on fire lately.
Dude, I just got an image of BoJack Horseman as Batman and just drinking with ad nauseum and giving a bad lesson about alcoholism.
Oh God!
No,
BoJack I still have to see that show.
Yeah, BoJack is like it kept first Simpsons, then South Park. Now we got a new adult show cartoon for the new millennium. That's terrific.
Well, the funny thing is that he knows exactly what's going on, and he just rolls with it.
Exactly.
and that's basically how he was.
Sorry, what?
I'm Pickle Rick.
Right. But that's basically how he was as Slade in the Teen Titans Go to the movies. He was basically BoJack Horseman. But it worked in that because he's basically calling out the Titans. Like, he knows exactly what they're going to do and playing them up on it.
There you go.
And that's the case where I'm like, okay, this actually works. I can accept not having Ron Perlman.
Did you know that?
You realize Hellboy's
coming out. It does make sense with the style of the show, too.
Yeah.
With Teen Titans Go, when it comes to that, I was like, okay, that makes sense. Ron Perlman was a little bit too serious. He was like, oh, I'm a bad guy.
You know how Ron first got into animated voice acting, as it turns out?
How?
His very first role was as Clayface in the Batman anime.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know what? The funny thing is, his last appearance as Clayface in the anime series in the 4th season was also technically the last time until years later the actress who voiced Helga ever did, from Hey Arnold, ever did any acting until Jungle Movie.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because she was that girl that was his spinoff.
Oh yeah, and that got died.
That was heartbreaking. That was so heartbreaking.
I cannot I rewatched this cartoon again because I got the DVDs. Just how much tragedy it played up, and even Kevin Conroy was like, "I don't know a thing about Batman. I'm kind of new to this acting thing." Tim gives him the script. Oh, it's Shakespeare.
I know, it's Hamlet.
Damn it! Especially Mr. Freeze. I rewatched Heart of Ice recently.
Sorry.
And for the love of what's holy, don't watch the Batman Robin one.
I know, need to break the ice.
Here's a different question now. What do you with the talk about with Ron Perlman getting the Hellboy? The new Hellboy movie comes out this weekend.
That's right.
Oh, is it this weekend? Oh,
yeah.
This weekend?
Yeah.
To quote SpongeBob, that was this weekend.
Yeah, it's coming up soon. So, what are you guys thinking about it?
I haven't seen the trailer.
I haven't seen the trailer yet.
I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of wait and see.
Because it's like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm just one of those people have to agree. God, those other two movies, underrated classics. They are
enjoyable. Yeah.
They are really fun. I really enjoyed them.
Here's the only thing. I don't mean to change the subject for a quick second, because Ron Perlman's a good actor, but I met him once. He's not really a nice guy.
Oh, hey, we all met him.
Yeah, we all met him. We were online waiting. I had my Teen Titans every DVD, and everybody else was there with either Hellboy or Sons of Anarchy stuff.
Yeah, right. But he just has kind of this self-importance to him. Like, he's just I'm here.
Well, you know, especially how he pissed on his hand before he shook hands with Weinstein and all that. Like it's like, yeah, and everyone else you shook hand with between the bathroom and Weinstein, I'm sure.
Here's how that
probably very grumpy.
Here's how that convention kind of went for me when I was in line for autographs. Yeah, Perlman, was like that. Jason David Frank, of course, shaking hands with fans.
Oh, nicest guy in the world.
Well, Jason David Frank was awesome.
Me meeting Ric Flair roughly in the middle, because he's, not appreciative to see the fans, but it's the nature boy. You gotta walk that out and style and profile. Woo!
You want to know the sad thing was like Rob, Eric, and I, we had a good time at that convention together. That's the same day we found out that Adam West passed away.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was devastating.
Yeah, that was.
And I've met him. I've met him. Shook his hand even.
Yeah.
The new Blu-ray. We have to finally put Batman on Blue. Hey, Mr. West, excellent. I'm going to sign these all in capital letters. They're going to say Adam West.
Yeah, that was so devastating. And then I made sure I at least saw that Batman versus Two-Face. Him and William Shatner. Shatner as Two-Face. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Although to be fair, though,
no one has a. I just hope no one has a shark bat repellent.
Yeah.
I want to rewatch that movie now. You know what I watched yesterday? All the celebrity out of the window appearances from season 2 of Batman.
Right. I will say this though, with that movie, with the animated Batman vs. Two-Face, as good as it was, and obviously as it makes the story bigger for the sake of it being a movie, it still paled in compared to the unmade episode that would have had Two-Face in it.
That's right. There were talks of getting Clint Eastwood to star as the guest villain.
It never got into production, and even Harlan.
That would have been interesting.
Harlan Ellison wrote it.
Nice. But I mean, this was just when Eastwood's star was rising, because he was in the spaghetti westerns. But now, but by the time of Dirty Harry, he'd be a perfect Harvey.
Right.
It would have been an interesting take. Of course, it probably would have been goofy, but it would have been interesting.
It would be the mixture of you play it so straight it comes across as campy, but still comes across as awesome. It's like Vincent Price's Eggman.
You know what another case of would have been a perfect casting is? If they ever had Star Trek and had Kirk's dad show up, Charlton Heston.
Yes.
Nice.
So think about that. Wouldn't that have been perfect? Charlton Heston as Kirk's dad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My father. Hey, father. Hello, Kirk. Hello, James.
Now, I don't know if by that point would he have been too cost prohibitive. Yeah, he probably would have been.
Hey, he was still a big star at that point. Get your hands off of me, you damn dirty ape.
Oh, I love the Planet of the Apes movies. Anything Planet of the Apes, I love. Heck, I still tolerate the Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them.
The makeup in the Tim Burton movie was fantastic.
Oh, it blew everything from the original movies out of the water. So expressive. Man, I still remember one bit where what's her name? The person that Tim Burton's pretty much together with, Helena Bonham Carter, is as her ape, But I love this point where she's like, time to get ready. And then she does like a little like, kind of a facial expression, but the makeup captured it perfectly. It's like, you know.
Helen Bonham Carter in a Tim Burton movie? What?
No. This was one of their first times working together, so this was before it became a cliche.
I know, I'm just saying, but you know, at least that was I kind of feel bad for like Tim Burton, especially after Dumbo.
Oh,
Doctor. I'm just having random Planet of the Apes things in my head. I only saw the movie once in high school, but those scenes like that from that movie stick out in your mind. Objection, Your Honor, sustained.
Actually,
I know the joke.
Yeah, I was gonna say, actually, I kind of wanted to change the subject about those Disney live-action movies, the remakes, just because I've been talking to people at work about it, and I just keep saying, it's like, what's the point in remaking them when the originals are just, they stand beautifully as their own, and people still talk about them.
Two simple things.
The only one I actually really like was the Jungle Book movie. That was actually a really good movie.
Yeah, that one was pretty interesting, and it went with a bit of a darker turn than I was expecting, if I remember.
Because it wasn't a note for note.
One thing though, Robert's told me he's excited for Aladdin now.
Well, with that trailer, I think that actually looked good.
It's the whole new world sequence that sold him.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it was a better trailer. Just the only thing I'm not kind of sold on is Jafar and the guy playing Aladdin.
The guy playing Aladdin, I think
he's okay. The guy playing Jafar, we feel is too.
The only thing I think might salvage it is I'm hoping that's more of a performance he's putting on when he's being that somber voice. Because given how he looks like in the trailer, being all, I really hope that's him actually hamming it up. Like he's going to normally be a big ham. He's just being somber because he's putting on a role. Basically, I think here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping they're having it be that when he is normally this big, yes, my sire, but unlike in the movie where he's obviously he's in a disguise as an old man, they really can't do that for a live action movie. I think they're trying to be putting on just an act. So that's why he's being this different voice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind them doing something different from the cartoon. Please, I welcome it. It's just I hope it's pulled off well.
I do too. But again, given how we see him being all bombastic, what's supposed to be the climax of the movie, I'm hoping that's it's going to be a double face.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Jungle Book movie, but I have seen clips of Christopher Walken.
As Louis.
Louis, I'm just like, oh yes, I want to be like you.
I agree with Nostalgia Critic. Why have that music when it's not a musical movie?
Good question.
I know it's one that's the standout. Like, how can you not have it? But at the same time, it's just, Dominic suggests the Black Cauldron should get a remake. And from what I've been hearing nowadays about that movie, people have always gone back and forth about it.
You know what, Rob? By the way, one other thing Rob says about Aladdin, he cinched it. It's his favorite Disney animated movie.
It is my favorite animated movie.
I gotcha. But I think the thing with what were we just talking? Oh yeah, Black Cauldron. At least I think one good thing at least is since the Black Cauldron wasn't that good, they could try to make it better.
I guess, but I'm still on the fence whether my favorite is Lion King or Toy Story. I'm leaning towards Toy Story.
Mine's Beauty and the Beast, hands down.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, mine's Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, that's up there.
Well, Lilo and Stitch was great. Oh, I love this song.
Least favorite of the Renaissance era. Let's keep it specific eras.
Least favorite? I'm trying to remember which ones I have seen versus which ones I didn't.
Oh, God.
I said of the Renaissance. That means
okay, so that means Little Mermaid upward, right?
Up to Little Mermaid up through Home on the Range.
Okay.
Okay. Before Home on the Range, because that's too obvious. Home on the Range is too obvious.
Too obvious.
The worst.
Okay,
so not counting Home on the Range itself, because
okay. Then wait a minute. Then that would be Little Mermaid up until Brother Bear. Then
right.
Yeah, so, I haven't seen Home on the Range, thankfully. So that's a tough
I remember seeing it a while ago, but I basically have no memory of it.
I'd have to say Pocahontas.
Yeah, I watched Pocahontas a lot as a
Yeah,
kid. But
Pocahontas was pretty inaccurate.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think even as a kid when I saw Pocahontas, everything about it felt like, I mean, we're not just talking about the historical accuracies, the characters and stuff, just the way the animation went. It was very slow moving, and it kind of just drolled and put me to
Now,
sleep.
the music was great. The music was awesome.
Oh yeah, the music is still memorable.
The Colors of the Wind is like one of my favorite tracks of all time.
Yeah, I mean, like now looking back, like I can definitely.
Savages.
Yeah, I mean, as an adult now, I could definitely appreciate some things about it, but I think like it's just kind of
No, you mentioned the animation. I remember a blog by John Christofalusi that said, "Why does the grandma tree look like a talking vagina?"
Oh, the Willow.
Oh my God.
Mama, Willow.
Yeah, Willow. Hello.
And the animation wasn't terrible. What I found very inconsistent was the villain.
Oh yeah,
no, I'd say he wasn't that inconsistent. I think it made actually a lot of sense that he was just in it for the money, thinking about there's going to be gold in them dar hills.
Right, but I mean, I'd vote for that too.
Instead, it was tobacco.
I never saw that.
Okay, I'm trying to remember. I actually did. Okay, what was the last one I did see in theaters? It was Tarzan, so I'm gonna have to think Little Mermaid up to Tarzan.
Tarzan. I love
Tarzan was good.
Brian Blessed as the bad guy. How long did it take Disney to finally go with that casting choice?
Gordon's alive.
Yeah.
No, it's Gordon is alive.
Flash.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Brian Blessed? I mean, heck, probably one of the few things I could tolerate from episode 1 was him as Boss Nass. He's like this.
Yeah, brother.
I think we all did the Power Rangers Putty Patrol, so watching their faces.
Yeah, but here's another one I love. Emperor. Someone Dominic pointed out Emperor's New Groove.
That was hilarious.
Oh, that's a great one.
That one and Lilo and Stitch were the two ones that really stood out.
It did. They were kind of different because they were different. They deviated from the Disney formula quite a bit.
I think that's why Lilo and Stitch is my favorite, just because of how different it was, and it tried new things, and it just succeeded.
Hey, we got Sport coming in, the birthday woman.
Oh, nice.
Yep, well, she's 54.
Okay.
I'm actually trying to remember. Yeah, I had to go with Pocahontas as my least favorite.
I did like Treasure Island and
Treasure Planet.
You mean? Treasure Planet. Oh, that's a great movie.
Yeah. But you know what? I would say it's the most underrated. Well, the funny thing is, I'd say it's the most underrated, but it's become a cliche to say it's the most underrated. Goofy movie. A goofy movie.
Some people said,
that's become a cliche now. They call it underrated.
Hey, Bill Farmer just tweeted out.
Oh yeah. Hey, Alex, did you see that tweet?
No, wait.
I did, yeah.
I know. I, Goofy, hereby dub my son Maximilian.
All an improv.
Official navigator and head witchwayer of this here road trip.
You're like, that was all an improv?
Yeah, that was really good.
I'm not even looking at the map anymore. Trust you wholeheartedly. So,
I actually have to get going. Okay. I have to take care of some stuff tomorrow.
Okay. Myself too. I should probably get ready for work tomorrow and wind down. But it's been a great stream.
It's been a lot of fun, guys.
I'll give Spork your regards when she comes.
Yeah, tell her I said happy birthday.
I will.
All right.
You all have a good night.
Yep. Yeah, don't worry. We're gonna keep going. I don't feel like ending anytime soon.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm
good night.
Oh, you're gonna be leaving Shark?
I'm staying here for right now.
All right. I see you, Ingrid.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.
But yeah, that was probably my least favorite because Hercules, I still liked. Mulan, I still liked.
Yeah, Hercules was awesome.
Oh yeah,
especially like Megara.
Oh, my name's Megra. My friends call me Meg. At least they would if I had any friends.
Again, the movie is kind of quotable because, again, like Aladdin, they went for a more jokey, cartoony style with it.
Hey, Shark, did you know that the voice of Megra is also Rose from Steven Universe?
Yes, I knew it.
I figured that voice was so perfect. It was perfect.
Hey, I'm a lady and I'm in distress. I got this.
Have a nice day. She was basically, if you go with that whole thing as being a Superman allegory, she was Lois.
Exactly. Hey, you guys know. No, I just saw Donald Goofy. You know, Wonder Boy. You got it. We're heroes. Oh, Sid, thanks, Junior Heroes, Donald.
Mm-hmm.
Honey, you mean Hunculus.
Hunculus. I like to make some sweet music. Our story, the muses. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. The actress who played that muse, the fat muse, she was in Adventure Time as Cake from Fiona and Cake. Hey, it's the birthday girl.
Hey.
Hey,
Happy
welcome.
birthday!
Happy birthday. How old are you again?
54.
Very, very happy birthday to you.
I know. And hey, that means you're 20 years older than I am.
Yeah.
How old did you say?
She said 54.
My dad and mom are older than you.
Oh.
No,
my mom and dad.
Hey, my dad was 12 years old when the moon landing happened. Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong were his heroes.
Oh.
So this is one small step for man and one giant leap for mankind. Sometime later that year at Woodstock.
Yeah, I wanted to point out you missed out on Piper, Alex, and Ingrid, but they said happy birthday.
Aw, thank you to them.
Yep. But yeah, we've just been chewing the shit. We were just talking about Disney movies, and I asked the question, what would you say is your favorite and least favorite of the Disney Renaissance? That would era. That would be from Little Mermaid up technically to Home on the Range, but you don't count Home on the Range for your least favorite. That's too obvious.
I don't know. I mean, the Renaissance movies, I would have to say, like, some of them were good, and some of them really weren't.
Oh, you said some of them you think were overhyped?
Yeah. I mean, I loved Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
I love Tangled. Does that fit in there?
No, that's not. That's post-Renaissance.
Dude.
I think that came out in 2010.
That was from the revival era, what I would call the revival era.
TVI era, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm more about the classics. I mean, my favorite Disney movie of all of them was The Black Cauldron.
Oh, really?
We were just
yeah, we were talking about that. Someone suggested that should be a live action adaptation, to which I'm like, I don't know.
Well, it was a series of books. And
I did not know that.
The book series was really, really good. They went into so much more.
Yeah, it feels like I think that
I'm not sure I've read those.
Yeah, I think that, but the movie though had so much, executive.
Well, that was back when Disney was still going through their like edgy phase,
right?
Because you have to remember the Black Hole came out around then.
Oh yeah.
So they were going through their edgy phase,
True, but then they had to include a goofy, hilarious sidekick, and you're like, "What's the okay?" They really overdid it with this guy.
They would have to be experimenting at that point if they release a movie like Tron. I can tell you that for sure.
Oh God! I thought they did a pretty good job with the new Tron.
Tron Legacy. I have to say, Weaponized Nerd Rage will defend that up and down.
Hey, it's got good graphics, a decent story. Daft Punk is the soundtrack. Hell yes.
Which was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really cool movie. I actually really liked it.
Yeah,
well, I liked that they stuck to the premise. They didn't stick a shit ton of like CGI or stuff like that in there. They tried to stick to it old school. You could tell it was made by people who loved the first movie.
The only CGI was, of course, for Jeff Bridges as what was his name?
Q.
No.
No. You're thinking of the
sorry, I don't remember much.
Clue.
Yeah.
Yeah, as Clue. But again, you can accept that because they're in a computer. It doesn't matter. It should look a little fake.
That's the one thing you can use a cheat with. Yeah. But, and again, translates well to Kingdom Hearts for such a good reason.
I know. And the only thing I did not care for, and I feel was a little bit wasted, was making Tron himself. It was awesome making him the
bad guy.
Yeah.
Spoilers. If anybody does.
Yeah, but and yes, the moment where he actually returns, they'll say, "I protect and defend the users," was awesome. But at the same time, it just felt a little like, wait, what?
I would have liked a little bit more of an ending to it.
Yeah,
she gets out of the computer. So what do?
Well,
they could have hinted about it.
They still had it on the drive.
Yeah,
I gotta say though, on the DVD and Blu-ray, they do hint off that the Master Control program was going to return.
Mario and the Master Control Program.
Yeah, because basically, you had the guy who played the son of the bad guy from the first film. He was actually typing, and he was typing it up, and it was end of line, acknowledge.
Edge, you are dismissed, Sock. Any failure to comply will take a result in
Dillinger.
Yeah, Dillinger.
Yeah, you had Cillian Murphy, the guy who played him.
Oh, that was such an awesome movie.
It was. Both movies were awesome.
Yeah.
And
I've never seen the first one, but I've seen Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look up the much older Disney movies back when Walt was alive. I'm just going through real quickly. Favorite of the classic era for me?
For the classic era,
For me, it's a tie between Alice in Wonderland, Lady and the Tramp, and Peter Pan.
I would
Alice in Wonderland, yes.
Because
what?
For me, it was Sleeping Beauty because Maleficent was one of my favorite villains.
Oh yeah. No, that was a great one.
Angelina Jolie as Maleficent.
Yeah, she was.
The fairies cracked me up too. They were great characters.
Well, I loved it because they made the bad villain character. They made her sexy. They made her powerful and so feminine. Yeah. And then the good fairies were seen as bumbling, idiotic, elderly.
That was the one problem though I had with Maleficent. The movie was they made them too incompetent.
Right.
Yeah.
I think everyone agrees that was the dumbest thing. They made him too incompetent just to make Maleficent better.
I know. You really think you can stop me, the mistress of all that is evil? Now you will witness my power and all the powers of hell.
I love it.
That was an awesome scene.
Oh yeah, I think the fact that she was the same voice actress as Lady Tramiel from Cinderella, but she was and the current voice for her does voice characters.
Oh yeah, Susan Blakesley, who does Wanda in the Fairly Odd Parents. I remember that.
Yeah,
she does both as well.
Oh yeah.
But Lady Tramiel is one of those interesting ones. But that's one of the funniest things.
Tremaine, the word you're looking for.
Tremaine.
Yeah.
And she, the best time I ever saw her was actually in one of the few good directed videos in Cinderella 3, where they got the hand of the wand.
See, I've never seen any of the secondary Cinderellas because
2 was meant to be for a TV spinoff that never went anywhere, so they just compiled it all into a movie. But the third one was a legit movie where basically it actually played up a what if. What if, thanks to the interference of the stepmother with the wand, it didn't happen. And then you had to beat him because some time passed since that magical night. The prince was now starting to be like, wait. Even his father was trying to be like, your son, this is ridiculous. What are you doing? They even made the king a character. They made him a character in this movie. It's like
Dominic Powell says in the chat, he mentions Winnie the Pooh. I love Winnie the Pooh too, but that was the 3 shorts rolled into one with New Urgency. And says, still, Jim Cummings still does the best Sterling Holloway impression. Though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, bother. Let's get dangerous.
I love the Christopher Robin movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh, look, I think I'm going now. I think I finally cracked. No cracks, a few wrinkles.
Oh, that was some of the best performances,
Wasn't Ewan McGregor in that?
Yeah, he was Christopher Robin, but he did a great job. Basically,
I haven't seen any of those.
I'll just say this: it's for Winnie the Pooh what Hook was for Peter Pan, but done even better.
Well, yeah.
Hook was I like Hook. That was a good movie.
I like Hook.
Hook was awesome.
Dustin Hoffman, best Hook in any
Peter Pan.
Oh yeah.
Especially, my favorite bit was, of course, when he's about to commit suicide, like, my fingers on the trigger. Don't try and stop me, Smeed. Oh, not again. Don't you
stop me, Smeed. Stop me, Smeed.
No, Smeed, try to stop me.
Any Peter.
Smeed, get up off your ass and get over here. This is not a joke. I am trying to commit suicide. It's like, I just love it. He's like, he knows what he's doing. He's like, stop me.
Any Peter Pan adaptation, the highlight for me is the slapstick between Smee and Huck. Smee!
Yeah, Bob Hoskins was a great Smee.
Oh, yeah. It's like if you from that point on, it's like if you pictured those characters in your head, that was who you saw.
In fact, when I in my
Sorry, what? Rob, you went mute, but you mentioned Hoskins. You mentioned Hoskins. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Eddie Valiant. Love the guy.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Roger.
Junior year. Sorry, I was gonna say my junior year of high school. The musical we did was Peter Pan, and one of my classmates. It's been a while. I just forgot his name, but he was Hook, and he actually said he based his Hook off of Dustin Hoffman's interpretation.
Nice.
But if
I bet a lot of people
Dustin
do.
Hoffman.
Oh,
sorry, what?
Dustin Hoffman. He was Hook. He was Captain Hook.
Yeah.
Wait,
amazing.
Wait, Rob, you did Peter Pan in high school?
No, I was. Well, that was the one year I did not do set crew, so I just watched it as a audience member.
How did your school get around the Native American implications and shit?
This was before it was an issue. We went straight.
All right. Because even back in the 90s, it looked like a lot of Native groups were.
But if you were more towards the interior of the United States, they wouldn't have thrown as big a fit as they did, on the coasts.
Yeah, listen to her. Listen to her. She would know.
I'm listening. You come from a time they were still, just.
Oh no! She has other reasons, dude.
I'm listening.
I are Native.
Oh.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of. I know over here there's a lot of things they can't do because of how they're portrayed. Mm-hmm. Like with Peter Pan, they get like. I saw a thing of Peter Pan done by a playhouse over here where the Native American characters were all played by African American people. And they did an amazing job at it, but they still got a lot of shit for it.
Ew.
Yeah, well, that's part of living in California. Even if you do it right, you do it wrong.
You think they wouldn't be this way because they would love the fact that they're getting black actors.
Yeah.
Hey, but nope. By the way, I find the irony. We're talking about Peter Pan, and your name is Wendy.
I got a lot of crap for that growing up.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. It's like the guy. It's like the kid named Nick, who was everybody said, "Hey, Nickelodeon, here he comes."
Right.
Sorry.
I always got, where's Peter? Or can I have a freeze and some fries?
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this. With Peter Pan, what is your stance on the Red Man Red song?
It's just a catchy.
Be honest.
I'm just used to it with the sequel. I'm just used to it because I remember watching a lot of old cartoons, and that's how they did Indians in those days. Doesn't make
my big thing. My big thing was when I was growing up, I had always known the word squaw in Algonquin means like pussy.
Oh,
it literally it was a term that the French traders used to refer to the Indian prostitutes.
Oh,
because that was just the only part of their body that they referred to. So every time she would say, "Squaw, sit 'em down. Squaw, no dance," I would laugh my ass off because I understood what it was.
Yeah, I was just talking about the song itself. So I was like, "What make the red man?"
I just looked at it kind of like it kind of represented the prejudices of their time.
Right. And it's from a kid's imagination anyway. It's what the kids were thinking. That's the one thing I always give Peter Pan credit, is that you got to remember, Neverland, it's the kids' imaginations. The kids are just imagining, that's probably why.
It has the pirates, it has the cowboys, it has everything you say kids would think of in a boy's imagination.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically. Girls talk to mermaids. Girls talk too much. Yeah, well, get out of it, girl. And Tinkerbell would be a bitch about it.
Oh, jeez. Oh, that was the only bad thing of Hook. Julia Roberts as Tinkerbell.
She's a good actress, but damn.
Well, mostly because of that one where she just got huge, big all of a sudden. You're like, what? That was all done just to shut her up.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell? Dave, by the way,
your favorite Steven refuses to work with her ever again. What does that tell you?
Wait, who?
Steven Spielberg refuses to work with her after Hook.
Heck, and I don't blame him. But by the way, the magnifying glass, your favorite joke.
Oh, yeah, the magnifying glass.
I miss Robin Williams. Damn it.
Yep.
I'm missing Robin Williams now. Aladdin, Cook, stop me before I do Mark and Mindy. Now, too late. Nanu. Zaspa. It's the fun. Hey.
Oh, I don't like foreigners. They talk funny.
Oh, yeah. I know. The perfect crossover. Him meets the Fonz meets Laverne. Nano. What is Nano?
Nanu.
It's like when we're kids.
Okay, so you guys, I'm just warning you. If you guys hear a lot of talking, I'm driving.
No problem.
All right, I understand. I was wondering what that was. It's like.
Yeah, I'm picking up. Holy shit! My not foster daughter, but this girl who we've kind of adopted into our family.
Yep, I'm aware. Yep.
Yeah, and we're picking her up so that she can come over and play a game of exploding kittens with us.
Exploding kittens?
I even want to know.
It's a card game that comic drawer did. It's sort of like
Old Maid?
Yeah, the oatmeal. It's sort of like a game of Uno.
Oh, so like Crazy Eight.
Yeah.
I was questioning that.
It's not like Beavis and Butthead want to light it up into their anus, but light it up with butt. Or like Bart Simpson would put a cherry bomb in the toilet. Sayonara, sucker. I know, kaboom. But while Angus Skinner is sitting down and Principal Skinner realizes, Mother? I've been rewatching a lot of old Simpson clips. Two OPK, sauce, peace, chickens, Nianzana, sesame seed. Homer, you're drilling on the mic again.
Right.
That was hilarious.
It was. It's so many memorable moments from those first 12 seasons. What the hell's so funny? Maybe it's the TV. Stupid TV. Be more funny.
Oh, boy.
Hi, I'm Mark Wood. You may remember me from such films as Dial M for Murderousness and The Erratic Adventures of Hercules. The late, great Phil Hartman.
Oh, man, that was such a tragedy.
Oh, yeah, it was Lionel Hutz. Lionel Hutz. Like, Mr. Simpson, don't you worry. I played Barbara Bush and it got taken to play last night.
You know the funny thing is, there were so many other things we lost.
Oh my god!
What the hell's going on over there?
Whoa! It looks like the homeless camp exploded. There's crap all over.
Oh, geez.
Oh my god!
Oh my goodness!
Are you talking about literal? What? How bad of an explosion are we talking about?
No, not like really exploding. It's just like their stuff is scattered over this huge area, and it's right next to the creek, so it's everywhere.
So it looks like a hurricane.
Goodness, that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Sounds like a hurricane hit it.
Hurricane homeless.
Yeah. Back to the Simpsons again. The hurricane. Okay, it's the standard grandpa drill. Everybody in the cellar.
And then of course you had
Ned finally Flanders.
Oh yeah, Ned snaps.
Now calm down.
Oh hell, diggly down crap.
What can't you people do anything right?
Oh yeah, that was pretty funny.
Ned's
one of my favorite side characters, along with the Pooh and Krusty the Clown.
Mr. Simpson, please leave and then come back again.
Hey, Pooh, I see you're not in church. Oh, but I am. I have a shrine to my god Ganesha. In the land. Hey, Ganesha, want a peanut? Please do not offer my god a peanut. Please take your purchases and get out and come again.
I know. Hey, when they were picking religions, you must have. I know.
Taken a whiz, or everything crashing. Hey, this is anybody but Steve Allen. You're stealing my bit.
Oh my gosh.
I love the fact that they realized, oh shit, clown shows are actually kind of dying. Let's just do a bunch of Johnny Carson references with them. Loud, that's the order of the day. Hey, now why do they call this a...
You know, still one of my favorite jokes is, what the hell was that?
Oh yeah, when you saw that weird being scratchy.
Just like... What the hell was that?
I know, that drooped face with the cigarette taking right out of his mouth.
I still find funny the fact that originally that was supposed to be Homer.
Oh, that Krusty was supposed to be Homer.
Yeah.
And they were drawn the same. Yeah. Psycho Bob. Oh, please. We've been through so much together. Just call me Bob. Ah, Bob.
Okay, guys. Well, I gotta go.
All right, see ya.
All right.
Yeah, Blue's about to get in the car, and you guys don't want a bunch of squealing girls.
Oh.
Oh.
Depends on what they're squealing about. Just kidding.
What?
I'm kidding too.
We're kidding. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay. Well, thank you guys. I'll see you guys later.
Happy birthday.
You have a good day.
Yep. All right. So, well, bye, guys. Now we can start winding down a bit, unless you guys want to keep going.
I could do some.
So, has anyone actually read some of the Harry Potter books?
I've read them all.
He's read them all. I haven't gotten into the series yet.
I read all the the real books, not cursed, whatever.
Yeah.
That cursed child. Ugh.
Yeah.
Why are you asking?
Yeah, why you ask?
What I found about the Goblet of Fire was the scene. Did you put your name into the Goblet of Fire, Harry? Dumbledore asked calmly. Then in the movie, he's like, Harry Potter, did you put your name in the Goblet of Fire?
Oh, yeah, but when you think about it in the context of what's going on with that, I think they were trying,
Glong, 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 gling. I'm saying, great, no, I mentioned wrestling earlier. I'm thinking back to a Mad TV skit where Triple H was Harry. He dressed all that and had to go geeky. And
parodies were hilarious.
And then somebody that barged in dressed as Stone Cold. He's like, I'm a wizard. And he was like, what? Wait, damn earplugs. I went to Whataburger.
Hey, Shark, quick question. Did you see my recent video about the Damien miniseries?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, yeah, it was the Son of Batman, Andy Kubert miniseries. Did you ever read that one?
I only got into comics when I was in 2016, I think.
Oh, then yeah, definitely. This was
sure.
this was in 2013 and 14.
Unfortunately, I haven't read some of them. I know I've watched a review from Bob Schuix or whatever his name is. I forgot.
All right, I was just asking because it would be a nice talking point because it was an interesting mini, but it was so clear that this was more done to showcase Kubert's art, and he's a great artist. In fact, he's been getting more work than his brother Adam has been at Marvel. Then again, Adam's always been the slow of the two.
My nephew has the trade of Infinity War. He's finally reading it.
Awesome.
Yeah, but he's got all three of there, and I'm trying to figure out the issues that were actually in the trade because the
trade is just the regular issues.
I know, but it was a 6-issue miniseries at first.
Yeah, some of them were double-sided. Most of them were double-sided.
Oh, I can't. Unless I go to comics.org, I can't find them.
Well, good luck finding them.
No. I mean, finding out what the issues were, the actual issues.
Dude, what do you mean finding out? I just told you it's the main mini.
No, fake Viz. I mean, it doesn't list it on Wikipedia.
Hold on.
So I'm going to the Grand Comics database. What was the first one? Infinity Gauntlet was the first one?
That's all it was just the Infinity Gauntlet. The Infinity Gauntlet.
Okay. And then it was Infinity War, and then it was Infinity...
Crusade.
Crusade, yeah.
Yeah, but we got to add the...
Here we go. 1991. I think this is it. United States.
Oh, hey, speaking of which, Shark, I got to ask you, what is your predictions for Endgame? All honesty. No over-the-top exaggerations. What do you honestly think?
My predictions is... since Chris Evans spoiled the thing, Captain America is going to die. Thanks, Thanks, Chris Evans.
Thanks, dude.
Right.
Later on the end.
And Captain Marvel is going to beat Thanos.
Well, do you really think that? Because they've made it very clear this is going to be about the original 6.
It better be.
Oh, I hope so.
So that's why I was asking you in all honesty. Do you really think it's, what do you really think? Not what worst case scenarios, what you honestly think.
Captain Marvel is going to beat Thanos.
You really think that?
Oh, no.
Do you honestly think that? Not, do you really think they would go there?
I hope not.
Yeah, that's my question was honestly, what do you really think? Not what you're hoping doesn't happen.
Well, I hope it, I hope it doesn't, become,
Captain Marvel and the Avengers.
SJWs.
Again, I have faith in the Russo brothers, especially there has to be at least some bit of truth to those rumors behind the scene, how they had issue with a lot of stuff going on.
Hey, at least Black Widow's a redhead again.
Yeah, what was up with her being a blonde?
Was Scarlett Johansson?
That was weird.
Was Scarlett Johansson tired of wearing a wig or dyeing her hair?
I have no idea.
They mentioned Kirsten.
Maybe that's just her normal hair.
Right.
Yeah, but although I gotta say this, I hope the Russo brothers are able to actually handle. If anyone could salvage Brie as Captain Marvel, I think the Russo brothers could do it.
I mean, they salvaged a couple.
Yeah, and to be honest, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Brie Larson looks really good in
the trailer
in Endgame.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, she has makeup on.
She has makeup.
Right, which is what set off all the SJW. Like, how dare she wear makeup? Oh, how dare she pretty herself up?
You probably wear 10 pounds of makeup just to try to attract a guy.
Dude, how many of these SJWs really go that effort these days?
Would you, dude? You'd be surprised. I've seen them with makeup on. They're a lot scarier with makeup than without makeup. Okay.
How would you? I bet they look like clowns.
Not so much clowns, but
they
look like they look like the cats.
Sorry, you guys are overlapping.
Like a dragon or something. Last time I saw one with a dragon or something.
But anyway, they look like the.
I was like, oh no!
Never mind.
Sorry, dude, calm down.
I know, but I don't think Chained Shark can hear me.
Can you hear him? Sorry. Just calm down.
I am calm. I just don't know if he can hear me because he's talking over me.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
It's fine. Am I coming through okay?
Yeah, you are on my end. I don't know about his. Yep.
What'd you say?
He said he could hear you. He said he could hear you. Yeah, he could hear you.
I think there might be a delay on his end.
There might be.
And that would explain it.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, not so much as clowns, but they look like the dime a dozen fat chick whores you pick up. It's like Miles Luna from Rooster Teeth once said, yeah, she'll fuck you, but they're not really, Now, and of course, Miles goes, no, out of the question. Breadsticks. Here's why the cheddar biscuits are more delicious.
No, that joke. Hey, out of curiosity, Shark, do you know anything or care anything about Rooster Teeth?
Do you even know what Rooster Teeth is? For that matter?
Red versus Blue, Ruby.
That's our
one of the other people that fired Vic from his contract.
Do you know anything about it at all? Because if not, I'll take that as a no.
Hold on, dude. Hold
on. Something's wrong with the sound. Unfortunately, no. The only one I knew from Rooster Teeth was from the earlier days when I watched Rage Quit.
Oh, Rage Quit. Red vs. Blue was the earliest. Rage Quit was later.
I was doing Michael Jones from Rage Quit there for a second. He and Miles Luna got into an argument about biscuits versus breadsticks between Olive Garden and Red Lobster, and he just went off. It was one of the funniest podcast moments. It sounded like he was Rage Quit again.
Yeah. And he's trying to come back on that lately.
Yeah, he's trying to come back. Okay. Now he's a dad. What cut back? Hey, he gets all of his angry moments out and playing Max in the Cam cartoon.
Yep. Hey, little question. What do you guys think about WrestleMania 35?
I told you I'm here, so I'm not watching it on the network. I'm here with you.
Right.
I don't watch sports.
I'm just saying the fact that they lasted this long.
Since 1985. I'm just as old as WrestleMania. I'm 2 months older than WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Son of a gun.
I don't watch sports.
Oh.
Well, wrestling is sports entertainment. It's not baseball.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I get the point. I get his point.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying. You're not a sports guy. I mean, I'm kind of a casual sports guy. I tune in on and off depending on the season of baseball or basketball or hockey or football. Like, if my dad watches soccer, I'll watch with him. If he watches auto racing, I know he's a car enthusiast. I'll watch the races with him, especially if it's Formula One. And if it's NASCAR, I know who Dale Earnhardt Jr. is.
Right.
Like, or Jeff Gordon. How Jeff Gordon eats a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Oh, is that the racing one?
Yeah, it's a pit stop in the charity.
I love that commercial.
I love those old Reese's commercials.
Here's the question, Shark. Did you ever see the old 7-Up commercial where it was basically, make 7 up yours?
That was the slogan. That was the legit slogan.
Yeah, it was. And yet the shirt was to make 7, and the back says, up yours. And they sold those shirts. And yes, the commercial, actually, make 7 up yours.
Yeah.
The commercial, actually, I'm saying that to the point where the guy said, same to you, same to me. And this was on television.
This actually aired on primetime TV. So.
They probably got away with it because they're saying, oh no, we're talking about the brand. Anything else is just a joke.
I wonder if the 7-Up spot just got up and like, I'm out of here. Yeah, I'm playing
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Take another video game out of me or I'm leaving. Why not take this? Forget it, dude. Pepsi Man is the new video game. Sorry, what?
Speaking of mascots, have you heard of Pepsi Man?
Pepsi Man!
He was so big in Japan.
I know. Pepsi Man!
The only other bigger Japan mascot at the time was for the Sega Saturn. Sega Saturn, shoot!
Oh yeah, he's awesome.
Sega is awesome. The fact they had him fight Chuck Norris in a death battle was great. Now, put him next to the Macho Man selling Slim Jims. You'll have testosterone overload. Need a little excitement? Step into a beefy, spicy Slim Jim. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Sega Saturn, too. No, thank you. Favorite mascot, though, growing up, besides any cereal mascots, for me, was Chester Cheetah. It's not easy being cheesy.
That's a hard one.
I mean, he got his own video game, too, like the boy did.
Yeah, it's not easy being cheesy.
I mean, the only other one, because I've been listening to music lately, again, is the California Raisins.
Oh, yeah.
The Will Vinton's claymation, man, so smooth, so crisp.
Agreed.
I do like the Lucky Charms commercials. Oh, you better not get your Lucky Charms.
Somehow Lucky's been running from that same gag for several decades, but it never gets old. I love it.
Here's the funny thing. Hey, Shark, did you know that originally they did actually during presidential elections had kids vote on whether or not Lucky and the Tricks Rabbit would get the tricks? But after 2 years, the kids kept voting that he would get it. They decided, these kids are going to actually vote for him getting it because they feel so sorry for him. Drop the whole thing.
Yep.
I never saw that.
Well,
unfortunately.
This was old days, like early Tricks.
But I remember the famous Got Milk commercial. Now they're for rabbits.
After all these years, our tricks are for kids. Now unzips, they're for rabbits. No milk.
God Milk.
That was one of the.
I remember that there was a Michael Bay one.
Yeah,
the guy was kind of answer
with Rob Paulson as the voice of the.
The what? Robert, you on mute again.
Oh,
there he is.
Yep, I'm right here.
Sorry about the Michael Bay one.
Yeah, I was saying Rob Paulson was the radio announcer.
It's there. I'm now on radio. United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama.
I've met him twice.
Talking Tunes is great. We mentioned Legends of the Hidden Temple before him. D. Bradley Baker still surprised people remember Olmec. And now in the Shrine of the Silver Monkey.
Oh yeah, did you ever watch that Shark? Legend of the Hidden Temple?
On Nickelodeon.
With Olmec.
It's the one where they're in the jungle and they got helmets and it's kind of like American Gladiators, sort of.
I don't remember that one. Sorry.
All right, it's all right.
Did you watch any Nickelodeon as a kid, or?
I watched SpongeBob.
So you're the SpongeBob generation. Robin, you're the ones who remember.
We're OG.
Yeah, coming up next after Double Dare, it's You Can't Do That on Television, followed by Inspector Gadget. Eureka's Castle will be back.
Oh, did you know that R.L. Stein co-created that?
Who?
Eureka's Castle. R.L. Stein. Goosebumps. R.L. Stein.
No fucking way. He's the one who said, "Hey guys, let's do our own Sesame Street after Pinwheel."
Yes. R.L. Goosebumps. R.L. Stein co-created Eureka's Castle.
I should have known something was up when we had it be about an almost.
Speaking of Sesame Street, have you seen Peppermint Park?
What?
What you're
Peppermint Park.
Nope.
What's Peppermint Park? What the hell is Peppermint Park?
It's like it was trying to be like Sesame Street, but it like failed miserably. I saw it at like Chad Tronic's YouTube. You gotta check it out.
I'm looking. I see it right now. Like,
even worse than Pinwheel.
Dude. Geez.
At least Pinwheel had a charm to it, despite the low budget.
Now we got to do is start with the letter M.
Yeah, it's one of those shows that basically had it's one of those, like, had an old man, a very creepy old man that looks like Walter.
I'm going back to Mr. Rogers. Won't you please? Won't you please? Won't you be my neighbor? Hi, neighbor. I'm glad we're together again. That still 50 years of Sesame Street. Can you believe that?
Oh, I know, right?
Well,
I know.
Well, I gotta go to bed. I'm tired.
Oh, all right.
You have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night, man.
Yep. Take care. Thanks for joining. And I think we should wind down now.
All right. Before I go on.
Gotta be with you all.
Yep. Same to you.
Same to you, man. Have fun. Yeah, I guess we can just continue to talk on the phone.
And now I'm gonna start wrapping up now.
Yeah. So yeah, we can continue on the phone or something. So let's.
Yeah.
Let's end the. So thanks for everybody for coming.
Whoever's still here.
Hey, Kier, we have. This was fun.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Fun. I'm liking these. I like these streams.
Yep. Okay. Well, this is StarCraft and Eric, and thanks to everyone else that showed up. Catch you all later. See you.
See you next time.